Everyone has families, right? I have a family. You got to do it legally, though, right? You understand that? What happens in El Salvador if you go there illegally?
Well, my business is legally. Texas, I got a title, and it's legally.
Yeah, but it's not if you're not, though.
Party and fist, party and fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Party and fist, party and fist. You can be sure that we make them lose pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Party and fist, let us show you what you might have missed.
And it looks like we're live. Oh, it's so good to be back, gentle listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Artie and Fist. I mean, that was a very, very upbeat intro there, mate. Right?
You never know what you're gonna get. I thought it would be silly to do like spooky visuals and then absolutely opposite music.
Well, speaking of spooky visuals, right? It's a very spooky episode tonight. It's early Halloween or late Purim, right? Like, you know, one of the two, right? The infinite respawn master James Lindsay is being resurfaced from the grave in the spooky night.
Yeah, he is the future to them. It's incredible. Like they are about to plaster him. He's their expert. He's their Fauci, if you think about
Dug
it.
up from the kosher centrist graveyard to scare the children with tales of the woke right. Woo!
And as always, it's going to be nothing new. The only thing new is going to be their cope, because there's never been so many people collectively across the country, possibly even across the world, that are in fact waking up to what the moos are doing.
Wake up. Woke.
Yeah, it's
We are waking up, and it's a elevated consciousness, elevated awareness. I'm glad me and you got in on Moo Coin just before it got bullish.
mate, look, didn't I say to you fucking MooCoin was like a great investment, right? Like I said to him, like, listen, mate, MooCoin, it's gonna fucking 10x, 20x, right? We're you know, and he's like, oh, you know, I don't know, like, what is this MooCoin thing? I'm like, bruh, right? Like, getting on the ground, it's gonna be huge, right? And I was
You
like,
spit a good game, and I was like, you know what? This is making sense right now. I think this thing it's got legs under it. I looked at the white papers and I was like, that all checks out.
Because the thing about their arguments is not that they need refinement, right? They just need to be repeated and repeated louder, right? Like, that's the crucial problem, is that they are not saying the same thing over and over loudly.
That feels like the left, though. We're talking about the centrist, the center right, the moderate conservatives. Why do they feel just like the left when you're talking about them right now? It's bizarre.
I mean, when you say the center right, do you perhaps mean the kosher right, that were basically the kosher left until like 10 minutes ago? And then
is this becoming kind of kosher MAGA, would you say?
Kosher MAGA, exactly, right? Would you like some gefilte fish with your Make America Great Again? You can't have a great America unless you have a great Israel. You have to. Two things are basically the same. You know, you wouldn't even have an America if it weren't for Israel. They're inseparable.
Can you combine that voice with your Trump voice?
wait.
Yeah, it's like trying to walk.
What we really need.
Get your hands going.
What we really need is more gefilte fish for everybody. We're gonna make America Israel great again.
Yeah, your Trumpenstein impression, that'll be good. That can work.
It's hard on the It's hard on the voice, mate. Doing 2 of those at the same fucking time.
I do enjoy
It's,
putting you on the
it's going
spot.
to be it's going to be awesome. We're going to glass around and we're going to make so much money. Would you like a high interest loan? Trumpenstein, mate. I reckon that's a keeper. That's a keeper. We'll have to.
It's happening. How is it not happening? This is like, especially with what we have to show today, where it's becoming brazen with who he's surrounded. It's not even that far into his presidency. It really got just kneecapped like within the first year.
Mate, Trump is doing so badly. Alex Jones has started drinking again. Right? Like, you know things are bad, right? Like, oh
yeah, actually, that's probably because he really takes it to heart when Trump.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. Alex Jones focuses on the elites and the globalists. Okay,
the globalists.
It really hurts him that it's the moos in Israel. He's like, oh god, mate. He threatened to fight everybody in the room on Tim Pool.
The wife showed me the clip. It was on, I think, like a Tozy's channel, right? And I was like, oh, I feel bad for him, man. Like I know he in person he must be like annoying as hell, right? Like especially when he's fucking.
There's no off button.
Okay, because I can fight every single one of you.
Friend that did coke at the party. You're like,
yeah. Far too much, right? I can fight every single one of you, right? But like, I don't know, man. I feel like he's a broken man now. Like, I mean, because man, this is the other thing. If the Dems get back in, right, they're gonna bankrupt him. They're gonna like take all of his shit. Like, oh, dude, the betrayal. Can you are we going to see like like in the future like dark Alex Jones, right? Like they take away all of his shit and they they put him in jail for like a couple of years, right? And then like he gets out and it's just like him alone in a room, right, with like a live streaming setup, right? And he's like all like buff and stuff because all he's done in jail is like like working out and stuff. He's just like, it's time for revenge.
Well, I mean, that's the weird thing though, is that like people have called, Nick Fuentes a Fed, but I mean, how is Alex Jones able to get away with saying all of these things publicly, right? For so long, and he kept saying the globalists and the elites for a long time when he kind of should have been able to narrow it down a little bit, I'd say.
No, but he didn't. Like, I mean, he resisted it for so long, right? Like, it wasn't until he started like talking to Fuentes, and Fuentes basically backed him into a corner, and he's like, "Look, right, like Alex, please, right, like, look, stop saying the globalists, right? We all know who you're fucking talking about, right? Like, and I just, I mean, I don't know, man, right? Like, I mean, what do you do? You just, the call is coming from inside the house. I know, effectively, right? Like,
it's been requested by our moderator to show this right now. So
really? Right, okay.
I'll just bring people up to speed on what's going on here.
Oh yeah, we got.
How about we just take you all on right now? You guys are fucking tough. You're pretty tough. How about we just fucking fight right now? You're fucking real men. All of you. Come on, let's go. Every one of you. Let's go. Let's prove how fucking badass you are. Slug, let's go. You think you can fucking take me? Let's see what happens.
I don't think I can take you.
No, you can. Why don't you fucking do it right now? Every fucking man in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8. Let's go.
Robbie will fight you.
This behavior is supposed to be socialized out of you in your early 20s.
It's very.
If you're acting like this in your late to early 30s, that is too old to be acting that way.
It's very gay coded, right?
Yes.
Like, it's like
Go ahead, take your shirts off and hop on top of me now.
Yeah, I'll take on all of you. I'll take on you and you and you. I can take you all on.
I want the hovering chemtrails of your pube sweat to wash over me.
I'll beat you off all at once. Oh God.
There's 8 of you and 16 testicles. Let's go right now.
Oh my God. Let's go. I'm tired of this.
So that's been a rough day. I still haven't reviewed that. Everything's starting to happen all at once right now. We got you know why as well.
You know why? You know why it's all starting to happen, right? Is because Trump has now flipped. He's now a liability, right? Did you see that that clip of Trump in Kentucky, right? Actually, I'll play this in the freaking intro, right? Because this is so
We're just
heinous.
going with the flow, man, you know?
So Trump is trying to primary Tom Massey, okay, right? Because like, you know, Massey's like a massive pain in his anal fissure or like whatever, okay, right? And so this is the dude that he is apparently like primarying against Thomas Massey, right? Look at this fucking shit.
I hope the fake news gets this. Tom Massey stands with the ladies of The View.
Tom Massey stands with the ladies of The View. I think he secretly has a bit of a vagina.
Dude,
Right?
is it so difficult? Like, tell James Lindsay to not talk shit. There's just certain people you would think rhetorically that are media trained that would go, oh, don't let that person talk shit. And you think they would, like, you know, let them know that. It's incredible.
Look at the look on Trump's face. He's not fucking impressed.
Tom Massey stands with the ladies of The View. Mr. President, we stand with you. Fight, fight, fight.
Whoa!
Mate, it's not 2016 anymore. Right?
I know.
Like it's been a
Yeah,
long
he does. That's the
time.
issue. That's the issue.
Right?
He's Trump is becoming a one-trick pony. But when someone's that old, how adaptable do you really expect them to be?
No. Look, I think Fuentes like pointed this out, right? You didn't do any of the shit that you promised, right? That's the central issue, right? Like if you had done any of the crap that you actually like promised to do, but it was all once again fell for it again award, right? But not only that, right? You know who his other star fucking candidate is?
Who?
Jake Paul.
No, this is AI.
We want
It is not. This is real.
God is with us. I know he wants us on the right side of history.
The right side of history.
What? What's wrong with saying that? I'm on the right side of history.
Mate, anytime someone utters that phrase, that is like just an instant nope. It's like when someone uses the term problematic, right? Or they have like a vocal fry with like that lift up at the end. I'm out. I'm not right engaging.
And everyone here has to do their part. And God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless. Love you, Kentucky.
No, he's a great guy. He's a courageous guy and a talented guy. He's a hell of a fighter, too, by
He's
the way.
a huge piece of shit. He scams so many YouTube videos on his like scams.
He also runs like an excellent crypto scam. I've heard the best crypto scam.
Influencer scam where you pay him like $1,000 and he literally gives you nothing. He literally just took $1,000.
Nobody does a crypto scam like this guy. I'm telling you.
I swear, Trump appreciates that. He's like, oh, dude, you can't fail either. Isn't it great? Yeah, I'll get behind someone. Yeah, can't fail. Why would I not get behind him? What would have to come out about Jake Paul for him to lose at this point?
No, wait, sorry, that's Logan Paul.
No, that's Jake Paul. That's Jake. No, that is Jake Paul.
It is Jake Paul.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. I'm gay. Yeah.
Right.
No,
right.
I lose because I can tell the difference. You win because you can't tell the difference.
Chat has failed us. Right. There will be beatings later.
They also win because they can't tell. You only lose if you know the difference.
Yeah, it's all coming apart. Right? Like the Epstein files were bad, but like the Iran war is just no new wars. The war in Iraq was a massive mistake. Billions and billions of dollars and lives wasted. Yeah, where's that fucking like energy now? Well, I sent Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff over to negotiate. They don't know anything really, but they're both part of the tribe, and that's what counts. And they came back and they said to me, Iran is definitely going to get a nuclear weapon. And so instead of consulting any experts at all, I pushed the goddamn button. And now oil is nearly
there we go.
So expensive. It's going to be great. We're going to make so much money.
You will be making them a little bit Jewy as time goes on, just a little sprinkle here and there. I know you can do it.
We're gonna make so much money. It's really hard on the throat to do the moo and the Trump at the same time. I'll practice, mate. I'll go and do some like exercises.
Well, it's pretty courageous for Trump to do this so early. They were already planning this, but the issue is that now people are turning their back on the party early. This would have suited them better politically if they all of a sudden pulled a heel turn kind of just before, another election, because now people have time to strategize and go, oh, we need to start getting away from this party like now is what's going on right now. And I think that's why Alex Jones was drinking, honestly.
And when the Republicans like lose, right? Lindsay and everybody else will turn around and they'll blame the woke right and they'll blame the Christian nationalists and all this kind of like other stuff. And they will not blame the actual issues, like the war, the fact that like Trump didn't do any of the shit that he said he was going to do. Fuentes says that someone inside DHS told him like mass deportations, they're over now, they're done, they're never coming back. Like that's it. It was only about like 300,000 people in total. It's bullshit. Like it's not happening, right? He's got a war to look after now, right?
His little baby war to look after.
Yeah, he's got a little bouncing baby war. Like they grow up so fast. All right, you gotta like shepherd them like carefully in case they like get out of control. That's a very bad war. Who's a bad war? I'm going to send you to bed without any missiles if you don't behave yourself.
This little war.
He's nearly walking by himself. Once that happens, the entire region will erupt into flames. It'll be glorious.
Oh yeah, walking by himself. Is that going to be if they actually get Democratic leadership, right? This baby never walks.
When a war becomes like self-containing, it's like a forest fire. You know what I mean? Like once it gets big enough that you can just like walk away and it'll keep burning. You know what I mean, right? Like like, well, how are we going to put it out? That's not my problem. I start wars. I don't finish them.
Oh yeah, how do you even finish these wars? I mean, we're gonna see. The moos are really heartless when it comes to Iran. They are dancing. They're like the dancing Israelis, if you think about it. Without so they drop an explosion.
Oh, I mean, and not only that, right? Like the amount of fucking war profiteering that is like about to occur is probably already occurring. Like, quite frankly, is going to be immense. Like, just the government is already intervening in like the oil markets. It's going to be a shit show. It is going to be an absolute shit show. I got a whole thing on that, man.
Oh, I bet you do.
Mate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. As you can imagine. Being in London as like the price of like food like doubles or like more, it's just gonna be great.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
we're white. We've had life on easy mode for too long. We've been privileged for so long. It's good for us to finally put up with some struggle, don't you think?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hair in our chest.
Bit of like cage fighting, right? Like,
hey, look, we don't want to self-victimize ourselves and acknowledge what's happening. That would be oppressor versus oppressed narrative. I've learned from James Lindsay. No. I mean, we just got to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and completely ignore any external factors and just work on our shrinking world.
I mean, one advantage to London is there is basically an infinite supply of rats. So, I mean, they're very nutritious.
That is really some sour grapes right there.
Hey, man, right? You always got to look on the bright side of things.
All right, before we tap in to the super chats right now, fellas, a new standard has been set. Okay. Someone said to me in a comment, "Hey, Artie, my mom was murdered by a black recently, and it's been really hard for me. I was the one that found the body, and it scared me in a way that nothing else has. I was always warning her not to hang out with them, but she was a grown woman and lived how she wanted to. While I understand that, I still blame myself for not doing more. Your videos have been a source of joy in these dark times. I've been busy with her funeral and missed the video the second it was uploaded. So if you could delete and re-upload it so I could watch it fresh, it'd be great. Thanks. Fellas!
Dude.
There has been a standard that has been set.
That
okay?
is talk.
I don't know if you guys talk to each other, if you have your own back channels. I don't know how or why this is happening, but let me say this from the heart as the YouTube monarch. You are making yourselves, as a hive mind, as my community, unbelievably easy to defend, okay? If you guys say or do something crazy, I don't base it on how crazy it is as to whether or not I can defend it. I base it on how much do you guys make me laugh? And then that's how much I can defend the things that you say and do. That, everyone, that's We Was Kings. Everyone gets a little piece of that, okay? He couldn't have done that by himself. Absolutely incredible work.
It's clearly a controlled operation headed by Alexander Dugin. Clearly. Right? Like, it's the only possible explanation, mate, right? There's no such thing as, like, you know, groups of people just sort of like having emergent behavior, right? It's all top down. Right?
We all know the amount of power Alexander Dugin has, right?
Oh yeah, mate. Absolutely. My God, like Dugin, like the Dukester, right? Everybody knows, like, you know, Alexander, man. He's like, you know, he fucking.
We all learned recently that Fuentes was actually reading Dugin in the womb.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
With it, okay.
That was an absolutely true statement, right? That's the life of all, you know, us influencers, right? You take a trip to the Kremlin, right? You know, you go and shake hands with like Putin. You know, you kiss the wall of the Kremlin, and then you go see Dugin, you know, and get his like blessing, right? As a Eurasianist, and then, you know, he sends you back to your home countries to, you know, spread vile propaganda. Right, you're set for life, mate. Like, you know, once you get the call from the Dukester, mate, right. you're set, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, a handful. You can't even say a handful. The thousands of moos in control of, as we're going to see, the thousands of NGOs. 500 alone just to combat anti-Semitism. Okay. That pales in comparison to one lone Alexander Dugin, okay? That pales in comparison.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
Mark Levin has a slimy hand around the back of Trump's neck, talking to him, saying he's like the first mooish president, okay? That's nothing. That's not power, okay?
Hey, is Mark Levin Rasputin?
I think he is. He has the evil streak.
He's the kipper behind the throne, as it were.
You ready to get this thing started, bud? I'm
ready. Yeah. Well, should we do like first few super chats? We only got like a few.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's better than having to do like 10 or 12 at a time, you know.
Oh, and plus we've got to do Lindsay, and it's like it's getting to be like a bit of a chore at this point, because you know, right? Like, you know, when
it's Lindsay season, it's Lindsay season, okay? And there's too many of them, and so we got to do some Lindsay population control. All right.
It's like when I was at university.
They're breeding, okay? They're popping up everywhere.
It's like when I was at university, right? And like the career like advisor said, you know, like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be like a weirdo like podcaster with like a PhD on Lindsay studies.
Me and you met criticizing James Lindsay. There's something there. Honestly,
yeah.
I should just start calling him Archbishop James Lindsay with the amount of Orthodox people he's creating. Honestly, the amount of Orthodox people, that's a reason why I was flooded with religious people, is I was calling out James Lindsay, and apparently that's just a rare thing to do.
I mean, like, I don't know. No, I think it's because, right, like, we should call him the Arch Levite. Clearly, mate, right? You know, Arch Cohen or like whatever, right? It's because he does that baffling with bullshit thing, and the way like a lot of that stuff works is people can tell that there's a falsity to it, but they can't quite put their finger on what it is. They're like, that sounds like BS, right? And then if you run across someone who's like, oh yeah, I know, I can explain to you like exactly why that's like BS. Like, actually, like,
I know, but he won't go away. He's like a fucking deer tick. Okay.
Unlimited respawns. Unlimited respawn.
You gotta either burn them. Okay, what do you do with a tick? Oh, sorry, am I comparing somebody on the side of the moose to an insect? I'm sorry. Only we can be compared to insects, right?
No, I think it would be more apt to like compare him to like a golem, right? Like, he lives and dies by the breath of his master, basically. A master.
But he never has to recharge. He never has to sleep. Have you seen how much he posts on X?
I mean, it's it's an interesting thing, right? Because in the old story, right, like the golem had to sleep, had to rest like 1 day a week, right? Otherwise, it would go insane, right? Like that's the whole point of the story, right? The rabbi forgot this thing, and he worked the golem to death, and not to death, right? And the golem went insane, and and attacked its masters, right? Do you think that would happen to Lindsay, right? Like they just like ride him so hard, like.
No, I mean, I can't search. He banned my backup account. If you search his account for the number 500, you will see him say that, like, I don't remember saying that, dude. I posted like 500 times in the past 3 days. and he has. He's aware of how much he posts. The man has no off button. What did you?
He's
a one
man. He's like a one-man bot farm. Like it's like, I mean, look. We work hard, right? Like, we make a lot of fucking content, right? But like, Lindsay's just, he's a machine, like a goy machine.
Yeah, I believe you called him the Energizer Goyim before we hopped on.
He's the
Energizer Goyim. He keeps knowing and knowing and knowing. He just knows
takes
so
a
much.
kipping.
He's gonna be right.
He takes a kipping and he keeps on kicking.
Super chat's already piling up.
Right, super chats. Aaron, mate, discourse for $2. Thank you, mate. Could you redo the stream after Lent? Of course, mate. Of course.
After sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna have to, because he's fasting from insulting people, which is incredible.
Oh, I see, mate. Well, look, once Lent is over, you'll be able to get all the insults out, mate. It'll be grand. Christos for £5. I'm here on time. Please continue. Oh, phew, mate. Remember I was saying to you before the stream, fuck, I hope Christos is on time.
I was panicking.
Me too. Oh, it's good to see you, Christos. The Odor for $5. I'm earlier than usual. Can you fast forward the stream about 20 minutes?
Each one is beautiful. And now, as the YouTube monarch, right, divined by God YouTube, right, all of my loyal subjects are just so beautiful in their own individual little ways. Each one with the same message, carrying a similar torch, but all of them slightly unique in their own ways. It's beautiful to see.
And of course, it was Alexander Dugan who came up with the suggestion for this joke and telepathically seeded it into the mind of our audience, right? Like the Duke star, mate, right? Like the Rasp Dugan.
The most woke right thing you can do is have a good time. Okay.
That is absolutely true. Hip hop guy for $5. Thank you, mate. My blue haired wife keeps looking over my shoulder. Can we delay the stream for 90 minutes? I want to keep hiding my power level.
Always hide your power level. Very good.
She's gonna find out sooner or later, mate. Right? Like, you'll be like sleeping next to her, and you'll be like, rah, 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 rah. She'll like wake you up. She'll be like, what is a Nick Fuentes? Total blackout painting for $20. Good to see you, TBP, mate. I hope you're doing well, dude. Trump is showing his true colors. His true loyalty is to the white and blue, like most of our politicians. The only red they're concerned with is what can be spilled in service of the bankers. Yeah.
Ooh, a painter and a poet. Look at him. Very nice. I like it.
Mate, I fucking fell for it again award.
No, I'm anti fell for it again award. I think that's a retarded thing to say, because then your only alternative is to always be a doomer. So like,
yeah,
I fell for it again. It's not like you were full throated. You were like hoping that it would be good. Like, that's a good, healthy outlook to have. It's not that like, because then you're afraid to ever believe in anything.
Do you know how, like, when you used to piss your parents off, right? And they'd say, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of energy. It's like, Donald, I'm not angry, I'm just I'm just disappointed. Like, you didn't do what you said you were going to do, right? Like, that's no way to be a man, right? Little did we know, of course, he did say what he did do, what he said he was going to do. He just wasn't saying it to us, right? CSI for $2, get ourselves 7,000 rubles. Oh,
That's what I'm
mate,
talking about.
fuck yeah, you can do a lot with 7,000 rubles.
We do have a moo that does pay us in shekels.
We do. Haven't seen him for a while.
We'll see if
actually.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust him.
Soul on the Lich for 100 arse.
There he is.
He's loaded with arse.
Ross over here.
28 Oives later, and World War J coming anytime soon.
28 Oives later is really good.
Oh, mate. Oh, someone should do an AI version of that. It'd be freaking hilarious. Johnny, $2 for $5. Look at this guy. You got $2. Who needs $2? This guy. I missed the start of your conversation. Wait, I missed the start of your relationship with Catholicism. Can you restart? It's not your fault, by the way. One, our Father, please.
See, that was a little bit more right there. And now I gotta do an Our Father.
That's great, but I'm not a Catholic, so I can't. But very, very nice. Thank you very much.
I think I still might remember the Our Father. I might remember.
I don't.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
That's the Lord's Prayer, mate. Like, is that what that means when the Catholics say do 5 Our Fathers? You just mean say the Lord's Prayer 5 times.
It is. I tried.
Christos for another 5 British pounds, mate. Look, one thing you want to invest in at the moment is British pounds, mate. Those things are sure to rocket up in value. Oh God. James is like Gades. You can live with it, but it's not fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of modern technology helps you coexist with James Lindsay when previous generations would just die.
The odor,
and also it mainly affects the gays. Go ahead.
The odor for $2. Also, can you guess my real name? I cannot.
What is this? What is this?
Is this someone from the chat who's changed their handle and
How the hell am I supposed to do that? What am I, a carny? What am I gonna guess your weight too?
roll up, see the amazing YouTube guessing man. Change your handle as many times as you want. He can guess your real name.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. It's like some cold calling psychic bullshit.
Right?
Bear in the Woods for $10. Thank you very much, mate. Reporting from the future from my Wally transhumanist utopian nightmare. President Fuentes really sorted things out. Anyway, could you restart the stream to fix the timeline?
Dude, we would fix the timeline. I'm keeping that timeline. Yeah. What are you talking about?
No, we would love to. But CERN has like you said, we can't. So without access to CERN's streaming service, unfortunately, we cannot restart the stream to fix the timeline.
Dude,
we're working on it.
We totally would, dude. We totally would.
Oh, we totally would. Totally would. Isaac for $20.
Here we go.
I missed everything in the past. One, Artie and Fist. I'm so sorry. Could you do me a favor? Please ask the moose to turn back time. Blood and Soil. Thanks for the fellogram. White Fist. Bear thing fork. Oh my god, I can't read.
Bear and Elves. Bear and Elves is a Mentis Wave joke for the moose because he compared them because he had to do so many analogies without talking about the moose. So he's trying to talk about per capita. And he's like, oh, imagine there's a bear, and then he compare it to elves. So that's where that comes from.
Save the white space. Hide your power levels.
Nice. Bears run the world. So that the bears
save the West, right? Because I got a second screen, right? It's quite far away. I can't get all the.
I'm here to help. All right.
Thank you very much, Isaac. Appreciate your cryptic communication. It's like Atlantean shit, right? Like if people in the future ever come back and watch these live streams, they'll be like, "What is this cryptic language?"
Right.
The dog whistles being used to communicate amongst them, right? Okay, so
It is Lindsay season. Tis the season.
Tis
You want to know what's funny? I made a spooky thumbnail, and it's Friday the 13th. I didn't even try and do that.
no, is it? Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Woo! Spooky Lindsay time. Right. So we start off with Sniper Anonymous sending me all these. The goodest of the goys, something to be proud of, not gonna lie. Well,
Yep.
I mean,
He leans into it. It's exactly what everyone's been saying about him the whole time, and he's exactly that with no shame at all whatsoever.
I guess we all have different goals in life. Right? Like, look, I mean, at least he's doing what he loves, right?
Yes, it's his favorite thing.
And there's this, right? I don't know who this Grit Machine. Am I following this guy? Oh, I'm following him now, right? Listen to this, man. James Lindsay's list of coping mantras. 1, work right. 2, iron law of work projection. 3, it's a Gnostic op. 4, never again is now. 5, Alexander Dugan posting. 6, Tucker Carlson is an op. 7, Candace Owens is an evil demon. 8, Burrito Mussolini. 9, work, rinse and repeat. Most are interchangeable.
How
That's
boomer.
That is a banging post.
How
mate.
boomer is Burrito Mussolini? It's like, yeah, all right, because he's like,
Yeah, that one
Mexican.
didn't
All right.
land.
They're
No,
trying
I mean,
to bring back Podcastistan, by the way.
Of that era, right? The only one that like totally landed was Clandis Ovens, right? And I will never forget. I just think
that's a great one.
That is fucking awesome. But the rest of them are kind of mid, right?
I know, but even to call her Clandis is how are you not being like the left that you're saying she's a part of the clan?
I just think it's just hilarious. It just rolls off the tongue. Like just the idea of like Candace Owens like in a hood being like, hey, like
I know, but then when you think about it, did the KKK put people in ovens? Like it's goofy no matter what. Clandis, they had to.
I mean, look, I bet they've got like a group chat, right? And they're all like sitting around like drinking like, really expensive like red wine or like, methylated spirits or whatever it is like they're into, right? And you're like
Methylated spirits.
Trying on like different like different sort of like names for people. And then like, oh, this one will be great. I mean, I'm pretty sure what's basically going on is like, I don't know. They clearly got like a group chat of some kind going on, right? So what are the latest pronouncements from Lindsay, the Cohen, the high priest? So they seem to have like pivoted. They're trying to talk to the kids now, bros. Like, okay, so for real, no cap, bros. Okay, right? What you got to understand, Zoomers, right, and Gen Alphas, right, is that Tucker Carlson isn't cool, right? And you just imagine like the Zoomers being like, bruh, Tucker Carlson is like totally unk-coded, bro. Like, just the idea that these fucking people are like,
and look, hold on, we've done it again. Christo Spongino was glazing Lindsay. We're covering that next, bud.
Oh yeah, no, we are. We know
what you want, okay? We know your body, bro. Okay.
Yeah. So did you realize, right, the fact that Gen Z is questioning Israel is in fact like an op, right? Listen up, kids. Doesn't that seem really weird to you? The main thing your whole cohort cares about is another country, one that is allied with us and is kicking ass in the most Top Gun way you can imagine.
Top Gun. Yep. That's how you're going to do it. That's how you're going to get to the heart is Top Gun.
I fully support this tactic, Jim, right? This is going to go down really, really well with the youths, right? Yeah, mate, you're on a win here.
Religious people out of thin air. They come to my community. They talk to me.
Doesn't it seem weird that everyone in your generation is focused on another country that isn't even attacking us? I believe the fundamental assertion there actually is that they are attacking us, Jim. Not directly, right? Like, there's not an invading army, but in sort of like other ways, or just, being like exploitative in ways where they just don't give a shit. I believe that is the fundamental assertion, but like it's fine. It's fine. It should seem weird because it is weird. The reason it's happening is not
weird.
because
Yeah, I
Israel
love
is
it. Hold on,
relevant.
dude. Hold on.
What?
It's weird. And this
It's
is gonna
weird.
be this is what's gonna I'm gonna show you him talking to Mark Levin, and it's gonna be the same thing where they go, isn't it weird? They're gonna make up something out of
See,
their own imagination and then call the thing that they made up weird. It's just classic.
You know what it is, right? They're trying to directly appeal to conspiratorial thinking.
Wait a minute.
Right?
Wasn't that Kamala Harris's thing? Is to call Trump weird? Or Virginia Vance weird?
No. What they're trying to do, right, is they're like, there's been a rise in conspiratorial thinking among the youths, right? Now, of course, none of this conspiratorial thinking is in any way true, except for the things that are true. Okay, right? But this whole idea that there are like hidden groups, right? Like, you know, I mean, this is the thing. They're not even freaking hidden. You want to know what the
greatest progenitor of paranoia is in human history? Effeminate neurosis. Who do you think the woke right comes from, dude? It's like, yeah, your parent. That's the best conspiracy theories come from these people because there's going to be another. Hold on. Another again is now. That's what I'm going to start saying.
Another again is now. Oh my God. So you know, so what they're trying to do is be like, isn't it weird? That's kind of weird.
Yes.
That people are like talking about Israel. I mean, we are going to war like in Iran. And,
yeah, but this only works with a woman that you want to fuck. A woman that sounds like that. Like, ooh, if you're like high school, you're like, oh man, if a hot girl's talking like that, it doesn't work with James Lindsay's tits. It works with a hot girl's tits.
This might have had a chance of like working before Gaza, right? And before like Trump launched the war in Iran.
Yeah, it seems
right?
like they had this timeline in their head no matter what was about to happen. And even though they should have readjusted their strategy, the plan was already set in motion.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I just don't like this. Like they're like, oh, you know, right? Like clearly, I mean, it's just rank gaslighting, right? Like, you know what? Why you picking on the moves? We don't have any power at all. Meanwhile, you've literally got like Ronald Lauder, right? Like standing up at the World Jewish Congress, basically saying like, oh yeah, we run this bitch.
I'm
right?
sorry.
We run this bitch.
The what?
The World Jewish Congress.
Oh, shouldn't that just be a sign? Even if they had no NGOs, shouldn't that be a sign by itself?
he's up there,
on the borders of their countries.
Like, we run this bitch, right? We need to like reform the entire education system, right? So that people stop criticizing us. It's like, dude, don't you like?
Anyway,
couldn't you use that power for good, right? Like, yeah, but
that's what we'll do. We'll use power for good. What are they, Orthodox Christians?
Oh my God, they don't really have any conception of like good. It seems apart from what is like good for them, right? It's you know.
I know, but they're insatiable is the issue. Yeah.
The reason it's happening is because you're being propagandized.
Okay.
This is the media literacy thing again. All of this crap is burned out in a big part because of COVID. Because of all of this, the institutional damage caused by like COVID, right? And he's like, do you think like social justice was like normal? Well, don't start looking into like who backed that crap either, right? Oh, you know, who started the whole social justice thing under this frame? What, the Chinese, right? Or like what, the Qataris? Like who? Oh my God, right? I mean,
you're
right.
Doing some psychic damage from that.
Kids, listen to your Uncle Jimmy now, kids. Right? He's gonna sit you on your knee, right? Rest your head up against his like milky bosom, right? He's gonna set you straight, right? This is not normal. This is not natural. This is the result of a dedicated propaganda campaign. Who's funding it, right? Like, I mean, the grievances you have are not grievances, right? And if the grievances are real, they definitely are not like caused by anything. If you think about it, they're really caused by yourself, right? And to think that these grievances are caused by like anything in society
you're talking about the moves right now, right?
Right? That's identity politics, right? That's the oppressor versus oppressed narrative. Let's not talk about how like democracy was literally invented as a way to like air and address grievances among certain groups so that they could like live together and alternate in rulership. No. We're past that. We're in a post-democratic world now, right? The grievances that you
no,
have, like,
not
I mean,
post. No. You can't say post. That feels too much like post-liberalism. No.
oh, you're being Soros. Oh, yes. Soros, of course, quite famously, the Chinese billionaire. Like, this is the problem, right? This shit has now gotten so large that literally every single pathway leads back to the same group of people, right? Like,
Right.
you just like it's like a black hole, right? Like, you know, that thing where if you're close enough to a black hole, like every single direction that you move in leads back into the black hole because like space has like warped. It's exactly the same thing. Every single direction, it all leads back to the same thing because the grievances were not addressed. You were like, the grievances don't exist. You like ran political leaders
Well, that's
saying they
oppressor
would.
versus oppressed narratives is how they keep phrasing it.
Right. Yeah, of course, right? I mean, despite like, let's just ignore the whole idea that like democratic political system is literally supposed to address grievances like among the people. Oh no, right? You just like, it's just insane. It is just insane. Oh, this is so fertile fallacies, right? Israel is not really our greatest ally. It isn't even an ally. We can't afford things at home because Israel gets aid money. This is Israel's war, and I'm not dying in it. Israel attacked the USS Liberty and isn't our friend.
Perfect.
Jeffrey Epstein was working for Israel. Oh, really? I mean, okay.
Okay,
Who was he working
so
for?
now he's going to confront the grievances, right? We can consider
Right.
these to be
Right.
grievances with what he. Yeah, okay, excellent.
No. We're not fixing the grievances in any meaningful way, right? We're just going to tell you the grievances don't exist, and they've been doing this for so long that now the grievances are so huge and have become so destabilizing that this trick doesn't work anymore. You need to address the actual grievances. And
But
of course,
how
they're
does
not
he
doing
address
that.
them? What does he do as in response to all of these things that that many people obviously think?
Well, you can't, right? I mean,
Well, no,
you know, like,
he does. Do you see where it says none of these?
wait. None of these is accurate. They are all fallacies designed to take off
There you
the
go.
social and emotional environments you find yourselves in, driven by media and political propagandists who have their own agendas but need your help.
Isn't this how we get a political revolt?
Mate,
That's all lies.
You guys should really seriously think about like actually addressing some of these grievances on the fucking ground. Right? This is highly destabilizing.
Let's talk like how James Lindsay talks about things. Okay, you ready?
Mhm.
I'm warning you. I'm trying to warn you guys. James, I'm trying to warn you right now. Okay. Hey, James, I've been saying this. You see how things are getting worse for the moose? I warned you. That's how he talks. So I mean, that's just fair game right now.
Yeah, we warned you, right? We did warn you, James.
Told
Right?
you.
We did tell you about the decline of trust.
Put
in
another
government, right?
biscuit and the fist was right, Tin. Yep, got him again.
We did warn you, James, right? That this was like unsustainable, right? That without like, you know, very, very serious like reform, like, but no. Oh my freaking God, right?
Now, somebody says something funny in the chat when the gaslit Uno reverses and says you're being gaslit by others.
Yeah,
there is going to be a reference to, I forget what Brett Weinstein calls it, but of course he has to make up a type of gaslighting instead of just saying it's the moose. I love it. They'll say anything except for what it is. So I love to see hearing what they're going to say.
Yeah. And so now America First is trans.
Well,
basically.
that's
right.
So he's being queer. That's what they don't want to be called,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this is like saying a man can be a woman. See, he's just saying the opposite of what they are. He's being
Now
queer.
look, I don't 100% disagree with this take, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Right. Because his argument essentially, right, is that America cannot withdraw from the world, right? America is like part of the world, and as a result, right, like America has to be involved in the world. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I get that. Okay, I don't think it's necessarily that people have an issue with. It is the way America is involved in the world, right? The lack of diplomacy, the constant wars. Why is it always America that has to like send the soldiers?
The hubris,
right? Like,
and machismo of murdering people, and the justification is that they're cutting babies' heads off, so we're going to explode them. You know, kind of nonsensical.
Yeah, the excessive financialization of the economy, right? Like And this is the thing. I'd be like, you're being anti-capitalist. I'm being fucking like anti-capitalist per se, right? But there is a limit, right? Like if
what they call capitalism is movie.
Yeah, and excessive like usury and like massive financialization and
That's what they call capitalism. The word capitalism was made by a moo, and it's done to describe moos and blame it on white people. There, that's what capitalism is.
I mean, look at fucking 2008, right? So many people got hurt in that, and another one is coming really goddamn soon. Millions of people are going to have their like wealth destroyed, right? What do you fucking? Oh my god, what do you care? Fucking hell, man. So yeah, trans ideology depends on believing the individual identity can be severed from the underlying physical reality of sex, which is kind of an anti-strategic withdrawal from the realities of embodiment to focus on one's own individual interests regardless of reality. Okay, right? Now, fair enough. The thing is, Jimmy, you are 100% against the multipolar world,
That was
right? To the
sophisticated
point where
psychological torture, just so you know.
Yeah, to the point where you actually believe that this thing was like invented by Alexander Dugin, which is complete and utter arse, right? And the political science, international relations scholar part of me like just winces when you say this crap, okay? You could have like cooperative spheres of influence within a unified security architecture. That's literally how the entire world worked up until the unipolar moment. That's what the fucking United Nations was for. Don't tell me this shit is impossible, right? It could be. Why do I waste my breath? Honestly, right? Like,
what do you wish for James Lindsay to do 1 year of?
He'd need a couple of years, but honestly, if he could just do like a basic introduction to political science,
there we go. Feel better,
right? Like,
see, there you go. See?
Yeah, that would be great.
Release some pressure,
right? I'll tell you what, I'll make him a deal, right? If he does a 1 year introduction to political science, I'll do a 1 year introduction to like math, right? Because I don't comment on his like math stuff because I don't fucking know complex math.
Well,
right?
I mean, Mark Levin's gonna. It's whenever someone calls him Dr. James Lindsay before talking to him, like he's a doctor of politics. Like you're not talking about anything that he's a doctor in. So why are you invoking doctor just to make him sound smart to midwits?
It'd be so funny to come up with him and be like, yo, Jim, like you're a doctor, right? He's like, yes. And like you whip out your cock and you're like, I've got this like weird like sore on my dick. What's wrong with it? Like, oh, not that kind of doctor. Okay, so oh my god, yes. Once again, this is taking too long, right?
Yeah.
So what do we got next? We got Dan Bongina.
So now what you just read, let's see Dan Bongina's reaction to that. Let's see how he interprets it. Let's see what team he's on. This guy's trustworthy, right? We trust this guy, right, fellas?
Yeah, I trust him.
What sketchy shit has this guy done recently?
Oh, fuck me. Like, the whole administration by this point, I just like look at it and I'm just like, oh my God. Fucking, this is like such a fucking shit show.
Shit. Then what is two thumbs in this guy, this cat right here?
Oh boy.
But the liberal media has found an ally too, with people out there pretending they're part of our movement. Folks, I can't read the whole thing, but this is a tweet you really need to see. James Lindsay put this out yesterday, and I've warned you about this. He's at Conceptual James on X. I'm not going to read the whole thing. However, keep this up if you could, Guy, with me in the little box for a minute. I'll try not to, people like visuals to jump around a little bit. However, this is important. What James is addressing here is current thingism. Folks, the left is the party of the current thing.
Give it an ism.
You know the current thing?
All you have to
Men's
do is
penises
just
in the
give
whip.
it an ism. Current thing ism. There. It's a new ideology. Hello? You're muted. Hey, hello? Fist? Oh no, they got him. Oh no, they got Fist. Your mic is muted. I can see that it's muted.
God damn it.
There you go.
And I was on a roll, right? I was like the current thing. You mean like the current thing, like the war that is about to unleash like a financial crisis so fucking huge it's going to make 2008 look like a fart in a bathtub. That current thing, right? The current thing that is going to like impact like the lives of like millions and millions of people. That current thing.
Well, you see, but they're trying to like that was used against the left, and now they're just trying to use that against us to dismiss us, right? When we were saying the current thing, it was going from BLM to supporting Ukraine to supporting vaccines to supporting trans. It was like every 3 months they were full throated behind these things. That's where the current thing meme came from. And then just like the left, they can't meme and they don't know how to apply these things in an effective way.
Yeah. Okay. What else has he got to say?
Men's room, abortion after birth, otherwise known as murder. Like, they just fall for the current thing all the time. Remember current thingism, like NPCs? Unfortunately, the current thing now is starting to filter over into the right. He notes this. He says, hey, I'm addressing this Zoomer slop. In other words, this current thingism amongst this younger breed of Republican kids out there. He says, this is a real Gen Z quote. Of all my friends, Israel is the very first thing they want to learn about and understand, because it does go back to America first. I, in fact, have not talked to one Gen Z conservative that has been pro-Israel. Everyone I talk to is questioning Israel. Okay. Well, Lindsay brings up a good point. James says, well, listen, kids, doesn't that seem really effing weird to you? The main
Why
thing
is that weird?
Cares about is another country, one that's out.
That's weird. That's pretty weird.
But do you see how it's Gnostic? It's just taken as fact that this is just weird. Why? Has there been an explanation? Any critical thinking?
That's just weird, right? Like, don't think about it too hard, right? You might break a brain bone. Look, what you need to do is go down to the shape store. I hear they've got this amazing new tetrahedron. It's it's so cool, bro.
Alive with us and is kicking ass in the most Top Gun way you can imagine. Doesn't it seem weird that everyone in your generation is focused on another country that isn't even attacking us? They don't chant death to America. He notes it should be weird because it is weird. The reason it's happening is not because Israel is relevant to all of your lives. It's happening because you're being propagandized. I've seen this over and over. He goes on later in the tweet. He says, you think this was normal? No, it's not normal either. Talking about how he mentions how these social justice kids back decades ago fell into this white privilege current thing trap. That's not normally. How does that affect your daily lives? He says this is the result, both of this, of not natural phenomenon, but dedicated propaganda campaigns.
How do the moves affect our daily lives?
Yeah.
Well, as I've shown, there is a Mooish NGO, just ones that register as Mooish. One Mooish NGO for every 563 moos in the United States.
Oh.
As we're going to see with Trump's anti-Semitism czar.
Yeah.
There's 500 organizations to stop anti-Semitism. And I've shown this plenty of times on stream. The fact that now they admit, the moos admit that they've been behind helping the minorities, LGBTQ, trans, black. They've been really behind that the entire time and never helping white people. No Mooish NGO, no ADL only considers it to be white supremacy.
And not only that, if you tried to start anything,
return to the land, our first,
like imagine you tried to spin up the anti-white defamation league, right? It'd be nuked from fucking orbit, mate. You just be like.
He talks about reflexivity and Soros's fertile fallacies, how you repeat a lie that seems believable enough with facts unrelated to evidence, and this is what you get. Scroll down a little bit more. He says reflexive campaigns are everywhere. On the left, they call them the current thing. Rafts of memes, the NPCs, all changing their tune and saying the same thing at the same time. He notes, you're being Soros. You are. The reason everyone in your generation is suddenly talking about Israel is because propagandists in your midst
when the Moose found out that Mustache Man was turning up the heat on them, the fact that they found out the thing that's actually happening all at the same time. See, there's never a truth factor. This is my issue with the woke right rhetoric the entire time. But what if what they're saying is true? It doesn't matter. He essentially
it can't be true, right? No matter what actually happens, right? Like the Epstein thing is a classic example. Okay, there are more links between Epstein and Israel than you could just throw a basketball into a field, right? And he'd hit an Israeli operative, and it just oh no, he's nothing to do with Israel. You're like, what the because it can't be true. It just can't be. It doesn't matter what evidence there is. It doesn't matter. It can't be true. And this is the freaking problem. This is the blind spot, the whatever the fuck you want to call it,
your current thing. It's a reflexive campaign. Don't play the part in this. Folks,
Do
this
nothing.
tweet
Cover your
just
ears.
absolutely nails it. All right, I don't want to read the whole thing.
Hang on. Someone sent like an amazing fucking super chat.
We might as well just do super chats right now. There's about 9 or 10 stacked up.
Okay, I just want to start with this one.
Sure.
TNRFNV for $10. Bongino is only 2 weeks away from being 6 months out from having a quarter of what the deep state doesn't want you to know.
Perfect. Not an ounce of fat on that one.
Oh, mate, that is.
It's always coming. It's always on the horizon. You know, it's always about to happen. James Lindsay's the same way. It's always about to happen. Told you it's happening. It's about to happen. It's going to happen. I'm warning you.
It's going to happen any day now. How do you know it's going to happen? Because there's like a big problem and we're going to do like nothing to fix it. And all of our like thing is like,
you're falling for it right now, Fist. Don't fall for it. Do nothing. Go to work. How does it affect your life? Just hey, how does trans kids affect your life? Just ignore it, right?
Yeah.
That happens in a minority. It's not an ethic that's being violated. Just think of yourself right now.
Mate, when the fallout from like this Iran bullshit like finally hits, like for real hits, like who the fuck, what are they gonna fucking blame it on?
They're not gonna blame it. No, they take accountability 2 years later, just like with COVID. They always take accountability 2 to 3 years later and go, we said some things, you said some things. We maybe shouldn't have done it the way that we did it. A half apology every time.
Yeah, you know they've wrapped the COVID inquiry in the UK, right? Like it's finally over, right?
Got it.
Exactly what you said. Hindsight is always 20/20, and some things are no one got prosecuted.
It was both of us. Okay, let's do a clean slate.
Yeah.
Says the people that got away with everything.
Look, if you think about it, Artie, it was really all of us that killed Christ.
Yeah, dude. It's like a pedophile going, "Hey, clean slate." Well, you fucking did, and I didn't, so no. Forgive me if I hold a grudge.
If you think about it, right, it was really, weren't all of us really Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yes. So the way that instead of collective guilt, what is it? Collective apologia.
I guess
they try to impart upon us.
It's just the weirdest, and I think this is where we get this idea of like, it's society, right? Like you see, it was like the black thing, right? It wasn't that one dude that went out and did like the stabbing and the struggle snuggling, right?
Yeah.
Really, isn't society to blame? No, it's that guy, right? He did it.
Well, no, but then when there's a bunch of people that are curious about what's going on that they've been lied to, now it's specifically Alexander Dugan's fault. Now it's one guy.
Of course, right? Unless it's like Tucker Carlson or
they just can't get it right. They always do the opposite of what they should do. It's like they're all queer.
That's a really good point, right? Like, why are you blaming Tucker? Surely you should be blaming the society that raised Tucker, right? I mean, that's very, very heartless.
Material conditions that made him this way.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, aren't we all really to blame for Tucker Carlson? Right? Right? Oh, fuck me. We've got to start using that.
Plow through these.
Last remembrance member for 4 months. Thank you very much. Agile Walrus for 10 loonies.
Aggie baby.
Hey, Agile Walrus. I see you in my comment sections. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? Hey, Artie, not sure if you've seen Frojacks popping up on YouTube, but they may be of some interest to chat with. They are brothers that are pro-white, secular, and debate chat from what I've seen. Thank you very much.
Let me borrow this extremely quickly. Let me go over on to here. So this guy, 14 videos, almost 7,000 subs.
Wow.
He has to have some sort of pre-existing channel. He's gotten 4,000 subscribers in the last month. Okay, this guy's about to explode. He has to have a previous history of making videos. But yeah, I'm gonna be watching that when I go to sleep. Thank you very much for that.
Awesome. King Spectre for $5. Thank you very much. Never Again is now. God, I hope so. If they didn't want another, they shouldn't have kept trying to recreate Weimar at every opportunity.
Whoa! Accountability alert! Hello.
Wait. Play the fucking thing. Wait, hang on. Where's that? Where's the sound thing?
What do you need?
Citrus.
Right?
It's fantastic.
A little too close to home there.
Parkour read for $2. Great dude, where's my foreskin reference? Oh, dude, mate. I mean, like it was there like, you know, a couple of days ago. I just like left it lying there. Someone came along and stole it. Oh my god. Arden Party for $2.
There he is.
Best mod in the business. Good to see you, Arden. Western kind knows the best rule is a light yoke, but also one that fits well. You know, like a yoke that is like, you know, properly designed, as it were, not some like weird alien yoke, you know, if that makes sense. Allows the most freedom of natural movement, if you know what I'm saying. Matty Ice for $5. Hey, Matty. Here's some coin for the James Lindsay was right jar. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Well, I mean, look, you know, that jar is looking pretty girthy. Thank you very much, Matty Ice.
What was he right about? We don't know. Only he does, but he's right again.
He was right about saying that he was right, and that's all you need to know.
Told you he was going to say he was right. I was right.
The Oda for $5. Capitalism is literally a Marxist construct.
Yep.
Karl Marx first coined the term as a straw man for private property rights in Anglo-Saxon cultures. Yeah, that sounds about
And if you
right.
think about it, he was talking about the moose, that extreme greed, unconstrained by Christianity, motivated by...
He absolutely was. Why? Like Germany at the time was totally like run by them. Yeah.
Well, how funny is that? If the Germans were listening to Karl Marx and they were like, "Oh, you mean the moose?" They're like, no, capitalism. They're like, "No, you mean the moose?" No. Listen. The nuclear family.
No, listen, I got to make this clear. Right at the time, they didn't have any of that like weird saying it without saying it stuff. Right? They just like said it. Right. Marx very, very famously, when he was talking about the mooish question, because it was the moos that actually like started talking about this originally. Okay, he had this friend of his like Bauer who was like, maybe we should like reform the laws like about like finance, and Marx was like, no, we just need to abolish money.
You're right.
Yeah. Phoenician. Oh, good to see you, Phoenician. How you
Third
doing,
in command. How you doing, bud?
$5. The thing is, Jimmy, I don't know how, but that was a slur, officer. Testing for $2. I'm out, folks. The death butterflies got me. Oh no, the death butterflies got testing. Mate, we need to deploy some poison. Neutral
I might have to do a compilation of all these inside jokes for people.
Neutral centrist lib for $2. Are you still pretending to be a classical liberal? Oh, absolutely.
Pretending?
Mate,
how am I pretending?
So
I make classical. If you saw my last video with Rudyard Lynch talking about the woke right, I'm a classical liberal monarch feudal lord. I don't know what's so confusing about that.
The thing I love about classical liberalism, right, is how you don't actually have to like look at any of the outcomes, right? You just need to cling to the process, right?
Dude,
and as long as you cling to the process, right, everything will go awesome, even when it's like visibly getting like worse and worse and worse.
Dude, the only purpose of classical liberalism is to have a train run on it in college and then accuse everybody of rape even though it wanted it. That's all classical liberalism has been used throughout fucking history, dude. It never accomplishes anything. It just gets used and abused and cast aside.
TNRFNV for $10.
Here he is, Rocket. Wait, you said this one.
Oh, I did say this one. Oh,
yeah,
right.
Good.
Right. Okay.
You're going.
Deep Calm became a YouTube member. Thank you very much.
Good time to do that. Very criticizing of the blacks in the past few videos, if you're into that.
Soul on the Lich for another 100 ass, mate.
There he is. We got so much ass right now. I don't know what to do with it.
James coming up with the skate over the shoulder and the backwards baseball cap and going, how do you do, fellow JQing Gentiles? The wall kissing Olympics are on and whoever wins, we lose. Bro.
What a dagger. He's got to be pissed right now. It'd be that funny.
Oh, my God. Okay, right. Super chat's accomplished.
Terrific.
Okay. Mate, we're fucking...
Let's go.
Right. So we got Ted Cruz. Is that... no, wait, hang on. This is Joel Webben.
That was...
This is the...
Can you scroll up?
Yeah, this is the Was Jesus...
Ted Cruz reposted Mikhail Olson, just so you guys know, okay? Mikhail Olson is a cow that I invested very early on my channel, okay? So there seems to be like a syndicate. It's the same way Isaiah can get large names. There has to be like Avi has to like be doing this in the background. Why would Ted Cruz repost Mikhail Olson? They have to already know each other. It's a syndicate. It's weird.
It's just a group chat. It's just a group chat. Like I bet you any freaking money, right? Like it's just a group chat.
I know.
It's 2026.
What was I thinking that there's like a singing telegram?
Someone like the Manhattan Institute, or Tikva Fund, or the Edelman Foundation, right? They just like kick some money in, basically, right? Because they've got like infinite money. So it's not really like you don't have to invent some weird supernatural spooky thing. It's a bunch of people in a group chat. They've got a shitload of money. They're all into like philanthropy and stuff. Every single one of them has a 501c3. They just start like kicking out money, right? Connecting like bada bing, bada boom. You don't need like to invoke any supernatural spooky shit, right?
Right, but so read what Ted Cruz wrote, because this is going to be a recurring theme. We're probably going to do a stream on was Jesus a moo? So this is a precursor to that. So if you want, I love how Ted Cruz saying it's brain rot, like he's Destiny. Okay,
it's truly brain rot. Jesus was undeniably mooish in the line of David, but not in the line of Levi. Very, very important distinction there. Any pastor should know this. Go read Matthew 1:17, chapter 1:1-17, and Luke. Romans 1:3, Paul writes concerning his son Jesus Christ our Lord, who was born of the seed of David according to the flesh. David was the royal line of Judah, as opposed to Levi, the Levites, which was the priestly class. So this is quite important, right? The Pharisees were of the tribe of Levi, right? At least I think I've got that right. This was a fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy in 2 Samuel, like, okay, yeah, like whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
so Jesus was a moo, and that's why they want him covered in shit. That's why the moos venerate a Down syndrome person that's mooish over Jesus, right? And I just think that's very bizarre that we can have Moodeo-Christianity, but where's the Christian moodism? It always seems to go one way.
You know the weird thing, right? The Muslims actually venerate Jesus more than the Moos do.
Yes.
Right?
Because
in Islam, right? Jesus was a prophet, just like not, the prophet, obviously. You know what I mean, right? Like, but they're still like, oh yeah, like he was pretty awesome, right? There's none of that in Moodyism, right? The Talmud is very is not kind. Right?
Someone in chat said they'll claim Lenny Kravitz before Jesus. No, that was just to introduce that topic and then to move on to Ted Cruz, who might have to start featuring on this channel a lot more. This guy has got some swollen udders that we have to relieve for him.
Oh, mate, he is ripening nicely, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You just look at him and you just like, man, look at them.
Oh, I just want to squish him.
Okay.
And I said, I'm really troubled by how the phrase Christ is King is being used. Look, I agree with the statement, Christ is King. Although it is being used online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew.
Pause it real quick. This is what happened with James Lindsay when he did the St. Michael tweet. Like, for some reason, any of these things supersede the Christian idea behind what it is. But what about the moose? Okay, yeah, so it's used that way. So okay,
I don't fucking understand, okay, how anyone can read the gospel and come away with the impression, okay, that Christianity is not an explicit refutation of rabbinical Moodyism, right?
Have you tried reading it with the Star of David up your ass?
Dude, like what the actual, it's like, oh, mate, no wonder they want to freaking censor the Bible. Can you imagine, right? Like if they win in 50 years, there'll be like some new version of the Bible where like, actually like the Pharisees were like the good guys and they blame it all on the Romans, right? Yeah. And feel like it was the Romans that got really pissed off.
But we're like the 1619 Project. They're not. They have an accurate view of history.
Right.
Text very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online code word.
I-
Christ is king.
That could
is,
easily be a drop.
I
just
hate the
having
Jews. Is
Ted
that your
Cruz
view, or
say
you?
that.
Oh,
It's almost
Just-
an online code word.
isolated to Ted Cruz saying I hate moose. Can you rewind
Why-
that
why-
like 10 seconds?
Yeah.
being used in a context very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online
That could
code
work.
word.
All right.
Christ is king is, I hate the Jews.
Is that your view, or why do you say that?
Because you see the people who are saying it, and they're saying it in that context. They're saying Jews are horrible, good, like they're attacking Jews, and they end with Christ is king to make it sound like somehow there's a biblical
Pause
basis.
it. Hey, Ted, have you
for
seen
attacking.
what white people have been going through for the past 20 years by any chance? Do you understand why we don't care?
Now, Artie, I hope you're not getting into identity politics and the oppressor oppressed narrative, right?
Dude,
like,
this is why when Ben Boy said that to me, I'm like, I stop. That's not stop. It's not identity. It's just what's happening. I'm not thinking of it as identity. Please don't, Ben. Please, I'm melting. I'm melting over here. Please, no.
oh my god.
Jews, look, Jesus was a Jew. And by the
Oh, every freaking time.
Hey,
way,
this
the
is going to be the new
twisted-
battle, fellas. This is going to be the new battlefield, is it not? We're going to
It
have
is.
to keep fighting it. Yep. And I
Yep,
can't
it-
fight it. I'm too little. So I'm going to have to use fists to help me fight this.
Yep.
Because I know they're wrong. I just don't know how. All right.
Look, fortunately, right, we've also got like backup from some like fucking awesome people in the chat who know fucking way more about the Bible than I do, right? I'm not a theologian. I reckon we can make a good crack at this, right? But the thing is, right, the whole Jesus was mooish thing is essentially a political statement. Is what it really is, right? It's like, what is it that James likes to say? You marry a truth with a lie, right? And you use it for political effect, right? I believe that's-
Also, I'll have a second dessert.
I believe he likes to say that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that is, right? You're leveraging, right, like a sort of historical-ish fact, and you're making a political statement. And that
loves
political
ish.
statement, obviously, is
Yes.
that you have to support the modern nation state of Israel, and you have to support the sort of the Moorish lobby having like sort of an outsized influence on your country.
James
right?
Lindsay put it on everyone's radar, a truth married to a lie. He put it on everyone's radar, what he is doing now. It's like a magician showing you how the trick is done and then doing the trick and then being surprised when nobody applauds. You already showed us how the meat's made.
Because he's doing that, like, look over there. Look over there. Someone else is doing the trick. While he's like literally doing exactly the same fucking trick.
Yeah.
Theology that says Jews are Christ killers, and that's been used to justify anti-Semitism, to justify persecution and
We
murder.
can go to the next video if you want.
I mean, it's only in the Gospels. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, like how important it can be. It's only in the Gospels, right? I mean, it's only in the Gospel. Oh, mate, this is freaking hilarious. All of a sudden, right? Cruz, whose top donor is freaking AIPAC, is concerned about foreign money. Amazing.
Tucker and foreign influence. How concerned are you about that, specifically from a financial standpoint?
I'm very concerned about that. Look, if you look at U.S. universities and foreign nations that give money to U.S. universities. I don't think foreign nations should be able to give any money to U.S. universities. I think it is causing a lot of problems in our colleges and universities. The number one foreign funders of U.S. universities is Qatar. Qatar has given $6.6 billion with a B to U.S. universities. You look at the anti-Semitic protests and riots you had on college campuses all across the country. I think Qatar was a major force funding that. And we know Tucker Carlson bought a home in Qatar. And to be clear, it's not just that every podcast he has, he's attacking Israel, he's attacking Jews. Jews are the source of everything wrong. Every problem we have in America came from the Jews, according to him. It's not just that. Look, anti-Semitism is a gateway to anti-capitalism.
It's beer and you end up at heroin.
Anti-septicism is a gateway to anti-capitalism.
Dude.
I mean, really? That's you're like, Ted, could you expound on that?
I mean,
a
well,
little bit?
honestly, like in a way that's true, because then you
it's
realize
totally true.
Then you realize what capitalism is, and you're like, oh yeah, that ultimate greed, like
yeah,
that's
but
the
not just greed, right? Like the financialization of everything.
The fact that
right?
you can make passive income doing nothing and make
Yeah. No, but I mean, look, fucking, you can have greedy Gentiles, right? It's not that. It's the way everything becomes financialized, right? And these people.
It's how
they
Jeffrey Epstein explains the financial system to Steve
Correct.
Bannon.
Correct. Exactly. Right. They make money off money, right? Everybody else makes money off like actually.
The bank doesn't have your money.
Yeah.
The bank doesn't have the money that you have in the bank.
Okay. So we should play this as well. Okay. So
yeah, we can skip the Winston, make it talking Lindsay.
Yeah. I already skipped it.
Yep.
Okay. So this is Kerry Jean Bollett. This is an unfortunate pause face.
Put my balls in that.
She was kicked from the White House Commission on Religious Freedom because she's a Catholic, right? And oh wait, have you got the? Wait, hang on. I need to play an audio asset. Where the hell is it?
An audio asset.
I need to play an audio asset. Where's the one about? Is this the one?
Say you're not loving Israel enough. You don't worship Israel enough.
That's basically the reason, right? She was getting spicy in the group chat, right?
So then I got a call after I was on pins and needles. I finally got a call, and it was Dan and Paula. And I'll never forget. I literally remember
Dan
every
Patrick
word.
and
Yes,
Paula White.
yes, they called me and they said, "Hi, Carrie. I know you've been worried this past couple weeks, but Dan started." And he goes, "I just want to let you know we've been in meetings about your situation."
What situation?
Yeah, what situation that I'm posting about? God forbid I criticize Israel. Can't do that while serving in this administration. And he said, I just want to let you know, Carrie, your job on this commission, I'll never forget this, Tucker. Your job on this commission is to protect the president and his reputation. He said that to me, the first thing out of his mouth. I couldn't believe it. I go, what? I thought my job is to protect religious freedom.
No. Someone did not understand the assignment. When they said religious freedom, right? They had a very specific religion in mind, right?
I thought that's what he appointed me to do. And he goes, you've been saying things online, Carrie, and you really need to stay off social media. Do not use social media between now and the end of your term. And then Paula White chimed in and she said, yeah, Carrie, you know what? You really shouldn't be posting about replacement theology. You shouldn't be posting about that. And there's a lot of people that are saying that you're an anti-Semite, Carrie, by your posts.
I mean, like this pattern is so familiar to me. Like now, right? It's like when you meet like how do I put this delicately?
Hold on, Phoenician in chat said, "Fool that you are! You thought your job was the name of your job."
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you meet a melanated individual of dubious provenance, right?
Yes.
And they start that like patter. They come up to you and they're like, how's it? And you can see like instantly like they're after you like shit, right? This is exactly the same like kind of thing, right? They dance up and they're like, da-na-na-na-na,
You're criticizing Zionism, you're criticizing Israel, and we have a problem with that. And then Dan chimed in again and he got loud. He got real loud and he's like, Carrie, because I pushed back and I said, well, wait a second. I said, what am I posting that is so offensive to you? That's against the rules of this commission because I didn't sign anything saying I wasn't going to use my social media. I speak out about things that I care about. I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian. And he said, you've been saying things that go against, I'll never forget this. He goes, you've been saying things that are not in alignment with the president and are not in alignment with Paula White.
So you know what happened with her, by the way, right?
What?
She was already in the club and then converted to Catholicism, right? So they done all the vetting, right? And then she converted, right? Very, very bad, right? So they'd already
Good to know.
Right? And then she converted like midstream. And that's why they're all like, oh, you've literally only been like a Catholic for like a few months. Like, what the hell do you know? That's why.
And some of the other members on this commission. And that's when I knew that this commission was a fraud. It was pretend. It was not about religious freedom. It was about, you better be a Zionist, you better push our agenda, or you're off. And that was in August. So we ended the conversation. Dan got really upset because I said, I really do want to keep posting. I'm not going to not use my social media. Can't agree to that, Dan. And he goes, well, why don't you just, if you have any questions about Israel or Gaza, because Paula White chimed in, was like, I'm the expert in that. You're just
Paula White's an expert in Gaza?
Yeah, I'm the expert in that. I just got back from there and there's no kids starving there. It's all fake, Carrie. It's all pretend. Yeah. And so she said, if you
She's
want
a Christian minister saying that?
Yeah.
Do you think that she, at any point in the course of
Christian minister, like what the, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Oh my God.
The day feels like, oof, I'm going to have to answer for this at some point.
No, I think she's just
To deny the death of children in the name of Jesus is a pretty heavy thing to do.
It's pretty sick. It's pretty dark. And she said, I want you, if you have any questions about anything, if you want to post anything, you need to run it by me first. So now Paula White, an equal of mine on this commission, is now telling me.
She's not an equal of yours. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm Paula White, bitch. Blah, 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 blah.
That I have to get everything.
It's like something out of fucking Hellraiser.
Right?
Approved by her in order to post about my religious beliefs. Is that insane?
Yeah, it's making my heart beat fast.
Yeah.
Listening to this,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that's the backstory.
Well, it's completely evil. And I'll just say, I know Paula White, sort of. I know Dan Patrick very well. He's a lot more liberal than I am. He's quite liberal, but I always liked him. You know, he's not stupid at all. And I'm shocked by this. I was shocked by it. It's so disgraceful.
It's a club.
I cried, actually. I cried to my husband. I cried to my kids. I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe that this was happening in the United States of America, that we care more about protecting a foreign nation than we do our own people.
Huh.
So then,
Well, now I think I know why Nick Fuentes is so popular. Anyone else?
That's
coming to that same conclusion.
That's very anti-citrus of her. And there's this clip as well.
So, okay, the upshot of that conversation was what? They call you and tell you you've got to run your social media post by this priestess.
Yeah.
And you say no. Then what happens?
So I kind of played along with it just to see where it would go. So I didn't stop posting, but I would run things by her. Like that kid in Florida who was being detained in Israel.
Yeah.
I sent her an email and I said, hey, Paula, I said, there's a kid in, Israel that's detained. I said,
U.S. citizen.
U.S. citizen. I said, we need to do something about this. I said, I know you have connections with Bibi. Maybe you can call Bibi up and see if you can get him released. This is what I am supposed to do on this commission. This is a U.S. citizen that is being detained, a child in Israel, and nobody's doing anything about it. No response. Then I sent her another email saying, hey, Paula, there's a bunch of teachers. The Christian schools in Israel are being shut down because these Palestinian teachers are being told they can't come and teach. So these Christian schools are going to be closed. Can you help? Can you do something about it?
Wrong kind of Christian, clearly.
No. So this arrogant woman who had the audacity to ask me to get things run by her in order to post online doesn't even have the respect to respond. She does not care about religious freedom at all. And that's when I really knew that I was up against a big, big giant. So I just kept posting more.
Welcome aboard.
Because I wasn't going to allow them to do this to me. No, they messed with the wrong person.
Apparently they did.
And
That's how a lot of us feel.
And of course, after she did that, she's been like subjected to just endless attacks by like Jim Lindsay, right? A whole segment attacking Paula White because of course there's one. Removing her from her job and replacing her with a lunatic sympathetic to their cause is a chief part of the play. Now, this is quite interesting, right? I sort of thought that James was like retarded, but I think this entire time he might have just been speaking in tongues.
I actually think James Lindsay is immortal and he's always existed because there's no end to him. The man can't fail no matter how much he obviously should be failing.
Okay, so don't you you've got something now, right? Don't you?
Don't I though? Okay. We got James Lindsay talking to Mark Levin. All right. Now you should notice
views on that.
This
Mate.
has 2,000 views in 2 days. Okay. Right now on the back end, we have 960 views. Okay. So there's a good chance that we're going to get more views than this by the time the stream is over. I'll be able to show you that at the very end. So the AstroTurfed, no one listens to them. No one is listening to this. This is how do you phrase it? The elites talking to each other.
Yeah, the elites talking to himself. I mean, like my last episode with Clowntown Chronicle about the conspiracy pyramid. You should check it out. By the way, it's good. It probably won't break 2K, but it's getting up there. Like, I mean, this is just it's the elites talking to themselves, right? Nobody is listening. It's just this like performative thing. You saw it like during COVID. You saw it like with all the climate bullshit. They just talk to each other. And
How
they have
much of
zero
a fucking idiot would you have to be to listen to this? Oh, here we go.
You know, there's a gentleman out there, Dr. James Lindsay, who I've become fond of. The things he writes, the things he says. I actually think I quoted you in one of my recent books. You know, I go through so much research and so forth, but I remember you. And you say very profound things, and you say them in a very pithy way, which is not easy, but I enjoy reading it. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. So let's just take a broad look at this.
Mark Levin is so old that he's like, yeah, James, make sure you call in on your cell phone. Call in on your phone. Don't just have it be a regular person-to-person conversation. Call into the show. That's how old Mark Levin is.
Oh my God, that picture of Levin, right? Like just how like self-satisfied and like up his own ass.
I think his eyes are a little beady.
Oh my God.
You see what's happening online. You see these woke Reich types. What do you think? And I've seen what you've written and so forth. What do you think is driving this effort to put a wedge between Jews and Christians? This effort to sort of redefine Americanism. What do you see as driving this?
Well, I mean, there's a number of factors. I don't want to make it complicated, but number one is previously
I believe he said he doesn't want to make it complicated.
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
It's not complicated. You don't have to make it complicated because it's really not that complicated.
Fortunately, I have faith, right, that Jim will be able to explain the woke right in just one simple paragraph, right, in a way that resonates with everyone, that doesn't create any confusion at all, right?
We're not trying to hate people. We're about redemption and understanding, right? We're tolerant Christians here. They're already in fest.
the forces that don't agree with President Trump out in the world, whether they're foreign or domestic, sought to undermine President Trump from the outside. They, so much as even trying to put a bullet in his head in Butler, Pennsylvania. And then we saw all the different campaigns, whether it's the Russia campaign, whether it's the impeachments or whatever. They couldn't take him from the outside. So now they're trying to take him from the inside. They have to undermine him from the inside. So I think that this is one thing, is to undermine Trump and his agenda, but it's also to reorganize the Republican Party around a completely different politics, much more radical politics and identity-based politics, to remove us from the American experiment.
What if we're done being a fucking experiment, James?
Yeah, I mean,
when does the experiment fucking end?
Yeah, when if it's an experiment, right? By the way, right, like that's the way like communism was framed as well in Russia.
Oh my God!
That
makes sense.
If it's an experiment, right? At what point do you call the experiment, right? Like if it's just an experiment that goes on endlessly, it's not a goddamn experiment, is it? Really? Like, and also if it's an experiment, but you have predetermined the outcome, it's not an experiment. It's just bullshit. Like,
so they're really I want to see that as national rhetoric where we're done being an experiment, right? I think that would be huge.
Yeah.
And where everybody who is an American is an American. If you're a citizen, you're a citizen. Okay, get a job. That's kind of our motto, right? Or the way we think about the world. And no, it's not going to be that. We're going to be a people in a place, which sounds a lot like blood and soil. So we're going to have
We're going to be a people in a place. Now, does Israel get that? Do they get
wait. I think
the place isn't that their entire identity when you think about it?
Isn't there something about that, like a people, a place, and a purpose, right? Like, so why do they get that, but no one else in the West gets to do that?
No.
Wait, I mean,
people in the West do get it. The Muzzies get it, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, is Israel an experiment, right? Like, oh no, I guess that's
no. It was promised to them. It's a promise. We're the experiment. They're the promise.
Right. Of course.
a new kind of European conservatism, which we can look to Europe and see didn't work. It didn't.
What is European conservative? Like, what is he even to the communist? Words don't have meaning, only purpose. What do these words mean to him?
I think he basically, he means like fascism, right? But he knows like the words like completely like wrung out.
Oh, so he's using like how the left uses it. Uses conservative.
Yeah. So he can't say fascism because everyone's gonna like roll their eyes. So instead he's pivoted to European conservatism.
Ah, yes. Germany, European conservatism. Terrific.
Serve anything. It doesn't work. And so the reorganized Republican Party around this new radical right-wing politics that's been excluded for 75 years from the American project. And then thirdly, on the global stage.
So It's been excluded from the American project for 75 years. Okay. I'm sorry, that's not democracy, right? There is nothing in the idea of democracy that you just exclude groups of people from having representation,
Isn't that
particularly if they have,
authoritarianism according to their worldview?
particularly if they have a legitimate grievance. All you are doing is amplifying that grievance by refusing to address it and shutting these people out of the political system. And they are just like dead set against allowing any of these grievances to be addressed.
Anyone can have yeah, but how do we know if it's a real grievance? See that there's no truth to his epistemology. He has no way of deciphering or critically thinking to discover truth. It's just, oh yeah, but they're just doing what the left does. Oh yeah, well show the moose.
Artie, look, it's very, very simple. If you're mooish, it's a real grievance.
Yeah.
Right? If you're anyone else, right, it's just it's just a suggestion and consequences of the system. And
yeah, and if you're white, it's supremacy.
Done, right? There's nothing that can be done, right? Right? It's the way things are, right?
I lose no matter what. I like it. I can't imagine why everyone's so fucking pissed.
If you're mooish and you got a grievance, right? Oh, then that's like, look, fucking drop everything, mate, right? Like we have to like change shit up. Like,
if you're mooish with a grievance, fucking leave. All right, here we go.
What's happening around Israel, what's happening in the Middle East is key to so many things that are happening, whether it's the Belt and Road Initiative for China, whether it's Russia's ambitions in the region. There are lots of huge global concerns, whether it's oil prices and oil transport and shipping lanes. There are huge concerns there. And as long as the United States and Israel remain staunch, firm allies, Western interests are represented and protected in that region from some of the worst people on the planet. So they have to interrupt that as well.
What do you think is influencing these so-called influencers, which obviously don't have a lot of influence?
Now, I love Mark Levin asking these questions like they're not pointed, leading, loaded questions at all, dude. Listen to this. His voice too is like, so I'm gonna ask you a question right now.
What do you think is influencing these so-called influencers, which obviously don't have a lot of influence? Senator Cotton pointed out, others are pointing it out, that when you look at the polls, MAGA is 91% behind the president.
Don't have a lot of influence. Tough talk from a guy with 2,000 views in 2 days on the show.
Its handling of this war. Whereas these so-called influencers, these woke right types, they're like 100% against. So what is it that is motivating them or driving them, do you think?
Well, I think that there's kind of a convergence of interests. I think on the one hand, some of them do have a different radical politics that they would love to see the right wing of America adopt. And so they're ideological in that way. Tucker Carlson, for example, is at least partly this. He's famously a paleo conservative. He's taken up strongly with Pat Buchanan, as many of the others have.
And as we know, famously, James Lindsay is overly educated on Pat Buchanan.
The right I observed, although I'm not sure I know too much about, but I think it might be correct, which is that or let me phrase it as a question. Do you think the woke right comes in the sort of lineage of the neo-reactionary right?
Yes.
Yes. And that's Buchanan. Yes. And I guess he's the sort of the main figure of that.
And of course, Tucker is downstream from Buchanan. He's a Buchananite.
So I wouldn't mind coloring this in, because this is actually, I learned this because I'm not American, but I learned this through Michael Malice's book, The New Right, and he sort of goes into this a little bit. But it seems that it is quite an important part of understanding this. How would you describe Buchananitism, or whatever the word might be?
I try not to describe it too much because I'm not terribly well read on Buchananism.
Terrific.
Yeah, and you know why he's not terribly well read? Because he spends his entire goddamn time on Twitter, right?
He also spends his entire time doing a 12-part series on Orrin McIntyre.
The other thing, like the way this is like framed, right? Everybody else has an ideology, right? But not him, right? Like he sees clearly, right? Like all of his like political opinions are facts, right? It's everybody else that has a goddamn ideology.
A special set of rules for himself. No wonder why he likes these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a different vision than President Trump offered for the Republican Party when he came in 2016. So there's an ideological component. There's undoubtedly a component that has to do with, likely it has to do with money, that people are being paid, or that they're just chasing clicks. They're chasing opportunity online. For whatever reason, these things are amplified and boosted, often by foreign actors, but also by bot farms.
Wait. So does he believe in the free marketplace of ideas or not? Right? Because no one forced any of these people to like watch our stream. Okay, right? Like this is as pure a supply
Voluntary
and
liberal
demand,
monarchy, okay?
right? This is as pure a supply and demand situation as you can get, right? We supply, right? Because there is demand. Like
Yes.
I just
Very market-based solution.
I guess it's because like half of our viewers are bots or something. Probably like, well, I mean, probably paid by Dugan. Actually, he does like to run those weirdo orthodox bot networks, right, out of the KGB.
And networks, and they're all making money hand over fist. So there are these very prosaic explanations as well. But ultimately, what I think it is that goal to reorganize both the Republican Party and our relationship with Israel in the world, so that the larger global interests that we are able to defend as we are right now fall out of our hands in our ability to defend them.
Is there sort of this rush?
Ready? Okay, let's hear his question that he's going to ask. It's just a question. He's just asking questions.
PSYOP activity taking place? People have been writing about this. You've talked about it somewhat too. Is this part of the plan to destroy the West and the United States in particular?
I feel like the answer to that is kind of obviously yes. The Russians are very famous in their approach with the so-called red team, blue team, or A team, B team, where they take any movement and split it into two factions that they can get fighting with each other. This is kind of their bread and butter kind of political warfare operations that they...
Why do you think Mark Levin has been kicked out of 109 countries? It's incredible. Yeah. Who do you think? Where do you think that originates from, James?
Well, Mark Levin has clearly never done anything wrong. I can't believe the cruelty that people would want to kick Mark Levin out of anywhere, right?
Well, it's never been his fault.
Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
It's incredible.
Imagine Mark Levin like in a restaurant.
I'd hate
right?
to do that.
You're working as a waiter, like a table server or something
Sure.
like that, right? Mark Levin's there, right? You can just imagine he would be right, like the nicest person you would ever want to serve at a table, right? I bet he always says he's like please and thank yous, right? He never gets like angry. I'm sure he like tips very, very generously, right? I bet he is like the model customer.
Oh yeah, these guys are yeah. You've heard him what he said about Nick Fuentes, okay? He almost popped like a pimple when he was talking about him.
Are the best in the world at and have been since the early days of Soviet Union. They're very good at divide and conquer in that way. But on the other hand, we now see finally, I've been shaking the tree for a while. Glenn Beck was bringing it up 10 years ago. This weird character of Alexander Dugin and his multipolarity theory. That's the big story.
Just a weird character. So weird. Oh my God, he's doing the Kamal strategy.
Ras Dugin.
Yeah, there it is. It was swimming around in there somewhere.
It's just weird. He's just weird. I don't know. Like he's all like Russian and like weird. It's just weird.
Multipolarity means that the United States is no longer the global power. We are no longer going to use our Navy and our military to control.
Now, of course, he's making it seem like we are, it's the same thing with Carl Schmitt, where he's making prescriptions and saying that this is what we want to do, as opposed to describe what is happening.
Yeah,
organically over time. Yeah. Do they think liberalism just governs for 2,000 years?
The more disturbing thing, right, is they seem to think that like missile interceptors just like spawn out of the void in service of liberalism, right? Basically, right? You write the Constitution down on a piece of paper, and then
they go just past the United States. What are you guys doing? It's easy for us.
Magically, right? Tanks and troops and drones and interceptor missiles, right? Like just spring from the ground as a for fuck's sake, right? Like the reason the US is having problems globally is because they are overstretched. It is the fate of all empires that attempt to control the globe. There's not enough resources. There's not enough assets. Your supply lines get stretched, right? Empires sort of solidify into a kind of like thought frame that makes them like very, very vulnerable to asymmetrical attacks, right? This is just I'm not saying I like it. Like that's just the way shit works. Like fucking God.
World affairs. We're going to have a Russian pole and a Chinese pole and an Islamic pole and a U.S. Western pole that are all roughly co-equal and competing in the world. But this is just that old Soviet strategy of breaking up Western power so that maybe communist, maybe Islamist interests can rise. I think in this case, you would see a huge rise in Islamism and you would see a huge rise in Chinese communism. But what the details are is tough to say. But the goal is to...
What was this? My brother in Christ, you have already seen these things.
Yeah, but that's what they're
right?
saying. People are saying this.
Like what? Like you're just you're like describing what has happened and basically pretending that it's like in the future somewhere if we don't do stuff. Like, oh, we might get the rise of China. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well,
they
what
make
James
everything
Lindsay thinks
now.
is what the people high up think, right? This is, and this you can tell in their foreign policy that they actually think like James Lindsay.
Oh my fucking God.
Undermine American and Western strength in the world so that the other players can rise to be like equals.
And does this partly explain anyway this obsession in attacking Judaism and trying to divide the Judeo-Christian value system, saying they're separate and one replace the other? Is that part of that ideology?
What a genuine and honest question, right? James Lindsay couldn't possibly know how he's supposed to answer this question, right?
Yeah, I bet he's really caught off guard by this penetrating question. Mark Levin, he's just slipping that in there, right? He's about to take Lindsay completely off guard here.
Yeah, I think it is part of the ideology. It is also a very useful tool, and I think that's the most important part. If we can divide Americans, especially American conservatives, over whether or not they support Israel or whether or not they support Jews, which is a much more alarming thing to see on the rise right now, is rank anti-Semitism. If they can split Americans that way and split American conservatives, if they can convince young...
Not the person recklessly calling libertarians anyone woke right. That guy's not splitting society, right? Just like with how on the left, dividing all of humanity into people of color and white people, that's not dividing society. Trump, that was the guy dividing society.
It's honestly so mush, right? Like Lindsay literally launched the right-wing civil war, right? Like with all the woke right bullshit and all this kind of other stuff. And then he like turns around and literally blames it on everybody else. Like, oh, fuck, dude.
Classic. It's never his fault. He gets to go to Israel and then stay in a hotel for free. What could be wrong with that?
Protestants to abandon those theological convictions that they have, and they can really reshape politics in America going forward. And the objective, I think, is in fact to do exactly that. So Israel becomes not just a object that they are attacking, but rather the object that they are attacking with. It's like I've said to people before, that if you really want to make a man mad, what you do is you insult his wife. And people say, well, you attacked his wife, but no, really what you did is you attacked the man through his wife. And so if they can attack Israel,
wait,
attacking the United
What? What? How could you possibly have that?
So Israel is America's wife in this. Oh,
yeah, it's a matriarchal lineage. They're the ones that determine Americanism because it's matriarchal.
I don't like that you're like wearing that shirt. Go and change. It's just like this bitchy, controlling, like nagging wife, right? And all America wants to do is just fucking go and hang out with the boys for like a couple of days and just get the fuck away, right? And he goes camping, he's hanging out with the boys, and he's just like, oh my God, my fucking wife. I can't deal with it, bros, right? Like she's
all right,
on my
fine,
case.
$3 billion a year, fine.
24/7.
United States by getting us to fight with ourselves and fight over this. They know that Protestants, evangelicals in particular, and Jews in America will not abandon Israel. They know that they will not abandon these convictions. They might turn some young people, but they can split the American conservative vision by getting us to fight about this. So it's more of a means to an end than an end in itself.
We're here with Dr. James Lindsay of New Discourses.
Yep, Doctor of Politics, Dr. James Lindsay.
And this podcast is the New Discourses podcast. Dr. James Lindsay, so we were talking about sort of this Russian influence campaign.
You're going to need some political surgeries from the doctor.
Involving the effort to divide really people and our institutions against each other and against ourselves, so it collapses within. These woke right podcasters, particularly those who draw so much attention, it's my understanding that Bannon met with this guy Dugin at one point and so forth and so on. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, a little bit. Steve Bannon met with Alexander Dugin in the fall, October or November, I think, of 2018, and they kind of kept it hush-hush. How much he worked with Dugin from there, I don't know, but Dugin actually draws off of...
If you were saying this, wouldn't you say how you know this claim? that
I
they
mean-
talk to each other, and he's like, "Yeah, they kept it hush hush." Did they? Did this happen? Were they like, what this? Yeah, I know. But James Lindsay's favorite thing. Yeah, I know a little bit about it.
Look, and it's so retarded, right? Like the reason why everyone was into Dugan back in like what was it, like 2018, okay, was because of this book he wrote. Was it Geopolitics and Empire? Right, where he was basically predicting the emergence of the multipolar world. Right, he wasn't like this is always like this. Yeah, he's always like this is always framed like ooh spooky, Raz Dugan, right? Like using his like spooky Russian power, his spooky Russian powers to turn the world into multipolarity. Bitch, everyone saw the writing on the wall. Fucking like Mackinder saw the fucking write on the wall. They never fucking talk about Mackinder. Like, like because he's not Russian. Like,
a philosophy for his own crazy beliefs, which he calls the fourth political theory. But he draws off of a guy that's called a traditionalist named René Guénon, a French philosopher. And Steve Bannon also draws off of René Guénon. So they're running in similar currents. They have similar thought patterns. They both have this. It's a very weird mystical way of thinking about traditions. But the idea is that if you dig deeply enough into any one tradition, you kind of come out at the bottom and they're all the same. So everything is unified and everything is whole. It's a very weird spiritual tradition. But Bannon and Dugan run in similar ways this way, not just politically, but on deep metaphysical levels.
Now, what does that mean? Deep metaphysical.
What does that mean?
Well, they see the world in a different way than the way the rest of us do. That there's this objective to transform the world to its kind of ideal state, and this is why
you mean like they need to repair the world, right? Like the world is broken and it needs to be like repaired, and like a specific group of people have been chosen to do that repair. Gee, what a fascinating idea. I feel like I've never heard that before.
We can't have any ideals. We can't have anything nice.
Oh my
Give you 1 second. So we don't, it almost sounds Marxist.
Well, it's not dissimilar to Marxism. It's almost.
I love that. I love that so much. It's not dissimilar to Marxism. I just rhetorically love that so much, dude.
The fourth political theory is an explicit refutation of Marxism, fascism, and liberalism. That's why it's called
because
the fourth.
he messed up multipolarity. He called isolationism multipolarity.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's too many things. But I love this. He doesn't want to say yes or it's not dissimilar. Like, dude, are you in a deposition right now?
It almost sounds Marxist.
Well, it's not dissimilar to Marxism. It's almost a Marxist vision kind of turned upside down. The idea with the Marxist vision is, in fact, that
wait. So it's the opposite. It's the opposite of Marxism, right?
Yeah,
but
so
it's not
dissimilar.
dissimilar.
So the answer would be no. It's the opposite. That would be the regular human answer. That's how a human being would answer.
Actually, Artie, don't you know that under the Kabbalistic system, things in their opposites are actually joined together in a sort of dialectic? Like, fucking
just go for the triple negative at that point, James. Set a record.
You're going to transform everybody to remember who they are. We're all going to remember that we're socialists at heart.
Transform everyone to remember who they are. This is why I hate people that read, Fist. Okay, this is where it comes from. Shit like this that I hear.
This
we re-educate everybody.
This isn't reading. He's just talking out his ass, mate. Like,
so what he read, okay? If he didn't read anything like me, and just stuck to numbers,
pressing X to doubt, right? And like, honestly, right? This thing I noticed about Lindsay, right, is like he may have read like remember all the shit we did on like Carl Schmitt, right? When he was in Carl Schmitt, right? He's like, I read it, yeah, but you didn't fucking understand it, right? It would be like if I read Lindsay's PhD thesis, okay, right? And I don't understand anything about fucking complicated math, right? And I made like a complete fucking hash of it, okay? And when like he tried to criticize me, like, you don't understand my work, I'd be like, well, I read it, right? Like, fuck you, right? Like,
well, yeah, technically I can surf. I just fall down every time.
Like,
I'm not good at it. I can
like,
do it.
It's like just this assumption, right? And this is the thing that pisses me off. No one would think that about math, right? That without any kind of training, any kind of like, I mean, I don't want to be all credentialist and shit. Like, you have to go to university, but you do have to do some fucking like study on this shit, right? You just pick up fucking Carl Schmitt and then like read it and be like, yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
understand.
you start
You
sounding
don't
like
know-
Sylvester Stallone out of nowhere. Hey, Adrian. Yeah.
But in this other tradition,
What?
Well, great.
the idea is more the other way around. It's that we can realize ourselves and band together almost more in a fascist organizational structure so that we can march forward to the humanity that we're supposed to become in the future.
That really is weird.
Yeah, the thing that he just made up is pretty fucking weird, isn't it? Every time.
But isn't that the Muish Tikkun Olam thing like encapsulated, right? That we like, you know, we're progressing towards like who we were like always supposed to be, and like once we like reach there, right, the world will be like repaired, and you know, as long as there is any darkness in the world, we will like keep like what like oh my god, like this is like
They're both
projection.
authoritarian.
Sorry,
Dude,
go on.
I know the level of projection is it's absolutely astral.
Right? So fascism and the Marxism aspect of it. Does this explain, for instance, Tucker Carlson turning World War II inside out? The good guys are the bad guys and the bad guys are the good guys?
Yeah, in part. I mean, they have to destabilize. And I want to just emphasize that the target here is primarily the young people. But this is just like what the left did with its 1619 project. You have to get the youth in particular to doubt the goodness of their own country and its founding and its kind of most triumphant.
Doubt the goodness of their own country. Who? Dude, it's delusional. He's projecting how much he hates the country onto other people. What else would that be? Where did hating the country come from? They hate what's happening to the country.
Man, these people, like these Americans, like I know they are fiercely patriotic, right? Like really, right? Like they just don't like the direction that the country has been taken in, right? They're not. Oh, mate.
Yeah, the Groypers hate the country. Nick Fuentes hates the country. They have no other country.
I can literally hear like the souls of thousands of like based Americans like screaming in pain.
Right.
Moments. And so what you do is you dig back into history and you reverse the polarity on whether or not who the good guys were and who the bad guys were, what was good and what was bad. You turn it all kind of upside down and inside out. And in that state of doubt, when people are no longer certain of the things they think they believe, you get to become their leader. They become dependent on you for the next piece of knowledge.
Nope, it's the moves, and that's why they've been kicked out of so many countries. You want to know how I know that?
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
Refuse to let you complicate it.
The next step, for the next direction to take.
And it's particularly problematic on the so-called right, isn't it? Because they wrap themselves in patriotism. They've been wrapping themselves in MAGA and supporting Trump, but then they...
Is he talking about the moves right now? Like, dude, who are you talking about right now?
Don't worry, Mark. I think a lot of them are like off the MAGA train now. You got nothing to worry about that.
You're right. He's all yours. Take him.
Yeah.
They show ankle because Trump is a problem for them. Conservatism is a problem for them. Faith is a problem for them, correct?
That's right. I mean, they're very explicit if you spend time actually reading them to hear them say that they do not consider themselves conservative. They consider themselves right-wing. And they make that distinction very clear.
Yes, because what are we conserving? What have you conserved? You've done such a bad job that we now want a new word for the movement. Now, was that so difficult to understand, everybody? Is that really that hard to understand?
Really, they believe that conservatism is something weak and that right-wing is something that can be strong, and they kind of tap it.
Gay conservatives, James. Gay and trans conservatives, James. Okay?
Conservatism is weak. Right. Look at
you
what
wanna,
it has
there's reform
brought.
Moodyism. You did reformed conservatism. That's the issue that people have.
Oh my god. No, conservatism is like uber strong, right? That's why you've got like trans kids. That's why you've got like mass migration. That's why you've got like rampant degeneracy.
Under
right?
the banner of liberalism, and well, it's whatever they want to do. That's what was being conserved, James. You'll never answer.
Into that, and they are very much against Trump. They've now turned on Trump. Tucker Carlson just said that MAGA is actually over. So they're not in the same current as the movement that they've been attached to. They've been inside the MAGA movement. They speak the MAGA language. They wave the flag. They carry the Bible. They do all of the things that...
I realize the relationship is toxic, and now I realize for my own mental health, I have to leave the relationship. Is this so fucking difficult? Wow.
Yeah.
It's really not
No,
complicated at all.
no, you can't. No, like you don't understand, right? Like that relationship, like literally defines the entire country. Is what it was built on. Like if you leave the relationship,
what it's built on,
nothing,
right?
you will literally be nothing without us. You know, right? Like,
Make them look like American patriots.
What?
Your interests, like our interests, are in fact your interests. Like always were, always have been. Right? You cannot separate your interests.
It's always been this way.
Yep, you cannot.
But what they're actually doing is the same kind of critical theory of America that we're used to from the left, that undercut our belief in our own country. You could actually summarize things like what Tucker Carlson does, his podcast. The message again and again, every week it seems, every day it seems, is you don't hate your country enough.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. When does anyone ever get the vibe that Tucker Carlson wants you to hate the country? Thank God no one listened to this. Thank God this only has 2,000 views.
I feel dirty after listening to that, mate. Is that it? Is it? I'm starting to. It's giving me cancer.
And yet there are people kind of sprinkled throughout the administration in significant positions of the administration that appear to share this viewpoint. No.
Yeah, well, Rod Dreher, who is at least kind of on the edge of this pond himself, said that he came over and studied and ran around in D.C. for a week or two, and his estimate was 30 to 40% of the people that are in positions of any kind of authority in D.C. are at least sympathetic to this. So very many people. But this is another parallel to communism, Mark. This is a technique that the communists called entryism, which is how do you get your guys in, entry, how do you get your guys in and the good guys out? And so what they're doing is they've stepped into positions of authority, and then they hire their friends and they create ugly scandals and situations for the people they don't like and start to squeeze them out. They're trying to squeeze out Paula White from the Faith Office right now very vigorously.
And that's only okay when we do it, right? Like, it's the most millish thing ever. That is literally like what they do, right? The Indians do the same. Oh,
you got to hear him defend Paula White.
You can see that very clearly. They're going after Lindsey Graham with some kind of a united struggle session attempt. They're trying to get their guys in and everybody, all the real patriots out.
It's incredible. And so the American people listening tonight, what is your advice to them? I mean, they really have to be discerning about this, right?
That's the sad part of the advice, is it's the hardest thing in the world, which is to be discerning. It's to understand that just because somebody's made a point that you agree with, that it doesn't mean that they're taking it in the right direction. It doesn't mean that they're doing the right thing with it. So you have to slow down. You can't just run on the fumes of, Tucker Carlson was the guy I watched on the news for years and years. You have to listen to what he's actually saying now. He might not be leading you in the right direction anymore. He may have changed. He may have taken advantage of your trust. But also, I want to tell American people listening is that you've got to protect your kids. If you, by the grace of God, avoided your children going in the direction of...
Going to compare the Grobers to trans, okay?
Trans, they are trying to get your children in the direction of fascism and Nazism.
I love how James Lindsay was right, okay, when you can just say the left was right, because the left has been crying about Nazism for the past however long. Like, okay, so
I love how the atheist says by the grace of God. Right.
This you don't know what he believes in. Come on.
This is just for the boomers, man. Right. Like someone pointed out that even though this only has 2K views on YouTube, it goes out to like millions of boomers on the radio. This is boomer slop. This is unk slop is what this is.
Well, I mean, I want you to be aware, if your mom or your grandmother likes James Lindsay, I want you to be aware of that, about what they're listening to then.
And I hear from parents every day almost about how they're falling and losing their kids to this. So protect your...
I hear from parents every day. Yeah, the moms you're fucking...
kids. Get them on the right path. Teach them well.
Amen to that. Tell us about your group and what New Discourses is all about in your podcast.
Thank you. I started New Discourses officially in 2020. My goal was to study and expose the woke left as fast as I could. I wrote a library of critical race theory for the public before George Floyd even died that was ready to go when people were ready to have it. I tackled the queer theory and the drag queens and so on. So I tried to tackle this woke left, tie it to communism, explain what the woke left phenomenon was. And I've run a podcast there called the New Discourses podcast, where I've been trying to teach the world as fast as I can learn.
How is there a group behind New Discourses? It's just James Lindsay.
About woke ideologies, and that includes now communism and fascism. I spent the last year doing something I call the Nazi Experiment podcast, where I'm going through piece by piece by piece, whether from Mein Kampf,
all these details of Orrin McIntyre's life,
from Carl Schmitt or some other Nazi writers, and telling people, what did the Nazis actually believe? We know how their experiment ended. They had problems in Germany after World War I. They did an experiment to fix it.
Wow. When does our experiment end, by the way?
Ended in a catastrophic war and a Holocaust, the worst thing maybe
wait.
We know.
So are you saying that the American experiment will end in a catastrophic war? It's kind of trendy that way. You know,
we conclude the experiment already.
The experiment didn't work, but what was in it? And the reason I'm doing that is because I've been seeing, whether it's on X, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, I've been seeing literally the pages of Mein Kampf with no attribution fed to our kids like they're new ideas. So I want people to see what Hitler really said, what his acolytes really taught, what they really believed, what those contents were, so that they don't mistake the arguments of today for something new and fresh and good. They're actually recycled evil from 80 years ago, 100 years ago, that caused one of the greatest calamities in human history.
Well, you're a very important thinker and a very important voice. And I'm going to bring you on more often if you don't mind. It's a very significant size audience.
They brought up Lindsey Graham in that.
Oh,
my bad.
Is that it? I can't. Oh my god, it's can't. And we got super chats. We got super chats like piling up.
There's just a couple of things I can show from this. I can speed this up.
Okay. Oh my god, we still got to get to the.
I know.
To the
It'll
war.
be fine. I know.
Okay. Right. So, Jose Varenga for
hello there.
Much. Can you guys restart the stream? I was at KvetchCon 271K. It was promised to me 3 eons ago. Also, if you guys can keep my son in prayer, he was born yesterday and is in ICU. Oh man, fucking! I hope your son's okay. Like,
who does a 2-part comment like that? Why would you get me laughing before telling me that?
Man, you know, God bless you and your son. I hope he's all right, man. Congratulations on having a son. I hope he's all right. Okay. Limiting Principle Podcast. Hey, Patrick, for $5. Jesus was a second temple moo. Current moos are rarely Torah moos. They say Jesus was moo now to conflate Christianity with today's moos word games. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You said.
Matty Ice for $10.
Oh, hi there.
The quality of public intellectual and celebratory endorsement that the Rebbes are able to marshal for this stuff is crashing shockingly low. Sometime look up Quoyim on Google Trends. Optimistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
You're gonna have to do a great reset memory wipe on that.
Ooh, the Quoyim. That's kind of cool. I mean, we should appropriate that.
Toys.
Smiling Man for $10. If I wasn't so black-pilled, I would almost say Trump is fucking up so spectacularly to make the mooish hand be so undeniably present that even the most dented normie has to see it. I mean, I just think eventually everything gets away from them because they bite off more than they can chew and they got no off switch.
People keep ending up empty-handed, and then while they're empty-handed, aren't allowed to just ask questions, as they say.
Leningrad for $10.
There he is, bro.
You see what they mean about how there will always be blasphemy laws and a state religion.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how Protestant Joel Webbin sold me on blasphemy laws. Hey, I'll swap out everything that it is now if I can't blaspheme Christ, okay? But then I can say the N-word. Oh, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The order for $5, thank you. The problem is that they've decided it's the majority which cannot express its grievances.
Yes.
This is obviously unsustainable. Yes, precisely.
They enjoy marginalizing the majority. Am I talking about the left of the moves right now? Oh, I'm going cross-eyed.
Yeah, and you cannot like have any kind of like functioning political system where you just marginalize all the grievances of the majority. It's just unsustainable. Yeah, good point. K-Test for $10. Ask them, why are you mad that God pulled a reverse Tolkien and rebirthed Rome on a new continent? Does it prove the Lord divorced your people for the English? Why so mad, Chosenite? Hashem is Yahweh, right?
If you want, read. The fellas told me to have you read this on stream.
What?
The picture that's up in the background.
Oh yeah. Jesus was not born in Bethlehem, Palestine, you retard. Bethlehem was in the Roman province of Judea, which was a satellite of the Roman province of Syria. Jesus was Italian.
Yeah. As long as he's not Mooish, I don't care what I don't care if he's Chinese, okay? I know he's not Mooish.
Mate, no lies detected, right? The Clown Town Chronicle for
There he is.
Good to see you, Patrick. Not Patrick. Oh, good to see Aaron. Sorry, my brain is like. check out the latest episode of myself and Clowntown Chronicle on my channel. We're like going through this weird COVID era propaganda piece of the
Oh hell
conspiracy
yeah! I'm gonna check
pyramid.
that out.
Yeah, we dropped another episode yesterday. It was a lot of fun to record. Check it out.
Always
The
down
only
for
problem
COVID
with
lore.
oh yeah, no, it's mental. We dug into the background of the person who like wrote it, and you'll never guess, bro. Right? Like every goddamn time. The only problem with Levin on audio is that you can't see him taking his glasses off when he wants to forcefully tell us about our country.
Who did that? Who was I talking about? Who did that on the other stream? Was it him? They were. It might have been. Where it was a politician. It was Cory Booker, who kept putting his glasses on to take them back off, to put them back on, to take them back off, to act as on. I love that move.
Thanks, Aaron. Mike Mironov for $5.
Hello, buddy.
Have you noticed that everyone with the name Lindsay with Lindsay in their name
batshit?
Shit. James, Graham, my ex.
Oh, can't live with him, can't live without him, baby. Let's go.
Oh God. The new GM for 1420. Very nice. Hey, can you guys restart? The Mephi Cocklers is hitting way too hard.
Methacophiles.
Methacophiles is hitting way too hard. Oh, mate.
Silly boy. Thank you so much.
Your mom's legs gifted 20 memberships. Holy
mother!
crap.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We now have a Chad of the Chad.
Now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
In a little Clandis ovens for good measure.
Bot shalom. Daddy's home.
Boom! Thank you so much, Your Mom's Legs. To all the new Hard R fellows, you should know that if you enjoy hearing black people get criticized, that has been accidentally the last 3. I do have lore episodes where I show videos of me from 2017, 2018, 2019 on my political journey that I'm on now. It's almost like a slow drip documentary, so to speak. And boy, do I let the blacks have it. Thank you, my mom's legs. You always produce such wonderful things like me.
Yeah. Think of all the things your mom's legs have produced. Girthy. Thank you so much. Molokai for 20 secs. Fellas, I have to work tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Molokai. I hope you like listening to the rest. Like
thanks
at work.
a lot, bruv.
Lenny Grad for $5. Thank you. Hey, man, I also know a little bit about a lot of things and also have an irrelevant degree. Let me tell you what you should believe.
Yes. Doctor of what? Math? So why the fuck do I care about him talking about interpersonal relationships and politics?
Lenny Grad, you're a genius, mate. Torch of Wyatt for $5. Don't need you to restart, but could you pause while I hit this Faustani Kush? Of course, mate. Of course. Lenny Grad again for another $5. We should give him a shout out because that was like 2 in a row. To James Lindsay, patriotism means stapling the rose-tinted glasses to your face.
Yeah. And he knows everything's going to be all right, not because of God, but because of the materialist moves around him.
More like the rose-tinted kipper, if you ask me. But anyway. New GM for $5. I think I need something more mild next time. I think I'll get the Girl Scout Fausty. The Oda for $2. Like the stream. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
Only I knew his name.
TNRFNV for $5. The guy from those Kung Fu videos isn't tackling anything.
Not even close. Ain't tackling nothing.
Isaac for $20.
Hello there.
Thank you so much. American people listening tonight, 1,000 boomers and 1,000 bear spies making sure that he is saying the correct thing.
Yeah.
To sum up this interview, a bad moo and a gooner talk about I'm right again. Blood and soil, 14 auction houses, the 88th sale. Please show the memes, Artie. Thank you very much.
We don't have time right now, okay? We're trying to blast through.
He's got a lot of
Thank you
traits.
very much.
Does Isaac? Big fan of World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
The Oda Again for $5. Jesus was, I cannot read Greek. I'm sorry, right? I can't, right? Oh yeah, no, I can actually.
You don't
Jesus
you don't
was a-
know fucking anything, Fist. It's
No.
incredible how
Jesus was,
stupid you are.
Jesus was Judeos. I do know. It's been rubbing off on me,
That's
mate.
wild.
Was a Judeos, not Jewish. Calling him Moish is like calling King Arthur American. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Wow, that's really weird, right? I just like looked at it and suddenly like popped into my brain. I'm like, wait. It's
That's
rubbing off on me.
impossible.
Thank you very much. And is the night is the night for $5. Behind on the stream, but anyone who, like Cruz, says Jesus isn't a Christian or even a schismatic.
Wow.
Jesus is God alive and upholding the world.
Wow, bro. I like that. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Super chats achieved.
Terrific. Now, progressive moo. Okay. Talking to Tucker. Let's bang it out quick.
Okay.
The highlights.
You're taking in actual real information about the world, not something that somebody believes is true. And it transforms you. And if you've seen the alternatives to what we have, and look, I have no shortage of complaints about the way the West functions and how it falls down on its values. But wow, do I not want to live under either of the alternatives? And back to your earlier point about
He's a moo with a tough decision to make, right?
Uh-huh.
Both sides that have moos on them seem kind of crazy. Brett, the moos might be crazy, buddy.
But you would run into black people, like normal black people, smart, know what's up, and they would all say Sharpton. Would never criticize Sharpton, ever. Because they felt under attack and they felt they had nowhere to go. Like Sharpton may be what he is, but he's on our side. And there's no way I'm going to denounce him in public. You saw this happen with whites in 2016 with Trump. That's really a lot of this was about whites feeling totally threatened through affirmative action, DEI, the kind of thing that happened to you at Evergreen, where all of a sudden you could just say, like, the whites shouldn't reproduce. Like, white people are bad. Like, they're at the bottom of the totem pole now. And there was so much of that. The whites are like, we feel really, really threatened. Of course,
Now, I think that's interesting where Tucker admits that, there was a Fuentes demographic of people that are obviously going to vote for Trump and that there was a pro-white sentiment behind voting for Trump.
Yeah.
We can now actually admit that, which is nice.
when they are being attacked, circle the wagons. It's a natural phenomenon and it exists for obvious reasons. And so to your earlier point about the amplifying of the very things that cause anti-Semitism, including leveling false accusations, which of course cause unbearable
Never themselves.
resentment or falsely accused. These things create a scenario in which Jews are now threatened by a growing wave of anti-Semitism. Hated. And so the point is the tendency to want to circle the wagons and just simply go to the people who are experiencing it too is overwhelming. But if we do that, we will end the West. And it can't be allowed to happen.
It's so obviously happening. I was sitting.
What is the West to him?
I mean,
what is it really?
Look, I like Brett, right?
Same?
Like when yeah, I do. When I
Too
met
nice
him,
for me, but I like
he
him.
was, like I met him once. He was really
Okay.
nice guy. And I mean he clearly has like far more self-awareness than someone like, Mark Levin or, all those other like people, right? That he can like very, very clearly see that the Moos are bringing a lot of this like on their own heads. And the thing is though, right, I guess I would say to Brett, like, these people won't change and they have an insane amount of influence, right? Both on the left and the right. They are, they are political operators, financial operators. It's, it's in their blood. You're not going to get them to enter into some kind of power sharing agreement through like persuasive words. Like, I mean, this is the final irony, right? Like, they're always like, you're always talking about power. Like Lindsay's like, but they jealously guard and accumulate.
I know.
Like,
And Brett's going to talk about how it's kind of in his bones. Okay.
Like, it's too bloody far. Like, no one's like, it's not that like, oh my God, right? Like we're annoyed that some people have some power. You're just hoarding all of it to the point where like, lots of other people are getting like really, really messed up. And when people point this out, they're just like, you're you're talking just like the left and the oppressed politics, dude. Like, you got to learn to share.
Nick Nelson in chat. I've never met a more collectively innocent people.
Exactly.
In a meeting in 1995 with Bill Kristol, who I then worked for, and in the meeting was a guy called Jay Lefkowitz, who was later someone who helped.
So this is what Bill Kristol said.
Jeffrey Epstein, weirdly, but this was long before that, 9 years before that. But we're sitting there, and I'll never forget Kristol, who was clever, not wise, but clever, and nice to me. I was grateful to have the job. I remember him saying, and I'm quoting, "A little anti-Semitism is good for the Jews. It reminds them of who they are." And I just didn't grow up in a world where anybody endorsed that.
Brett did not like to hear that, okay? He did not have an enjoyable look on his face. And do you want to know why? Because this is a part of Brett's identity ever since he grew up.
Know that it exists, but it's not what I grew up with. I grew up in a secular Jewish home in which the values were decidedly Jewish and they were explicit. And what we did was think through difficult issues very carefully. And I will tell you, the Holocaust played a big role in my upbringing.
I'm sure.
I did not, at the point that I became cognizant, understand how recent it was. I now, of course, do, because I've, lived.
Now, I can actually wrap this up in like 5 minutes. So, it definitely, so the anti-Semitism that, he didn't necessarily experience, but was made aware of when he was a kid, right?
Benjamin
now
Netanyahu
it's ramping up.
In a position to steer the United States, and I think that is what has happened. You can tell that by what Marco Rubio has said, and if we take the mild version, where he says it was the timing that was forced by Israel, okay, that's still unacceptable. If we take the more aggressive interpretation, and the fact is we were forced into this because Israel wanted it, that is completely unacceptable. And we cannot survive this way. And I don't know how to say this delicately, but your sense that anti-Semitism is being amped up, and it seems essentially deliberate. And you've heard, as you said, from Bill Kristol, the idea that must circulate somewhere that a bit of anti-Semitism is good because it reminds Jews of who they are. We don't need that reminder. We can be very
I know, but Brett, that's the powerful people think this, Brett. I know that you.
Look, I think Bill Kristol is actually touching on something correct here, right? Which is that collective identities have to develop in the face of some kind of adversity, right? Or at least
an oppression narrative.
No, not necessarily. I mean, but at least some kind
In
of.
the case of Bill Kristol, would you call it an oppression narrative? Anti-Semitism.
The way a group defines itself collectively is often in opposition to, like, there's like a positive and a negative aspect, right? So there are the qualities that you say that you have, but then there are the qualities that you say that you don't have, and these can only really sort of be elucidated when you have like some kind of example to compare against and be like, we are like these people, but we are not like those people. And so I think Kristol, but I think they were just trying to keep it like just like simmering, right? Like at a certain level, right? And now,
well, how do you have the Anti-Defamation League without anti-Semitism?
Yeah, no, exactly, precisely, right? It provides like all of these like, like financial benefits and all this kind of other stuff. And then after like Occupy, some bright spark had the idea of like, well, oh my God, they're coming after the bankers, right? Like, we know what's next. Release the identity politics, right? Like it's like saying like, oh my God, the people want their money back, right? Set fire to the bank. And you're like, wait, everything's burning down. It's like, yeah, well, you did set fire to the bank. I mean,
so this is going to be interesting. Tucker's going to bring up the Armenians and how they're a very distinct people from what he remembers growing up around them. And then he's going to invoke an evolutionary trait of cohesion. Okay. Because to try to communicate this to Brett.
Academic. We can understand these things based on patterns of history, and we do. So we don't need this amped up. But the question...
But can I just say, though, I understand. I think it's poison. I think Bill Kristol himself is poison. I have a lot of thoughts about Bill Kristol, who I know intimately. However, it's not strictly speaking false. If you look at the coherent populations, like if your goal is to keep a genetic mix intact, if your goal is to keep religion intact, and you look around the world, like what groups have pulled that off? Jews, obviously top of the list. The Armenians. The Armenians are really, in California, you grew up there when we were kids. The Armenian, people Jews did not think, at least in the world I lived in, they didn't think of we're the Jews and everybody else. It was like they were just kind of like everybody else, at least in the world.
That's what they showed to you, Tucker.
World I lived in, they were. But the Armenians were definitely like distinct. Like Armenians marry Armenians. They go to Armenian church. Why is that? Because they got genocided by the Ottoman Turks. And
you shouldn't have to go through intense oppression in order to collectivize and have these things.
This is very interesting because, Tucker is essentially saying that in the face of the stuff that's happening in the UK, you're just going to get this intense inward-looking white identity. It's right because what's happening.
The grievance.
Yeah, exactly.
They were they bombed the Turkish consulate in Los Angeles when I was a kid. I'll never forget it. Armenians did, because they were still so mad about this thing that happened at the tail end of the First World War, 70 years before, whatever it was. And so it had the effect, their suffering and their insistence on telling their children about that suffering had the effect, probably made their kids jumpy and paranoid, probably. That's the downside. But it did have the effect of keeping them coherent as a group. Just a fact. So it's not as an evolutionary strategy, it's not crazy.
Oh, I'm not saying that it is not logically true that a bit of anti-Semitism will cause that. Right. On the other hand, I think it very quickly gets to where we are now.
Exactly. No, you're right.
You see it as a logical filter for things, a litmus test for the quality of someone's character. And, again, to go back to my own upbringing.
Now, Brett Weinstein is he's an atheist, right? He's a progressive, ethnically Mooish atheist, correct?
Yeah.
Bringing the stories of various genocides, especially the Nazi genocide, was such an important feature of, it's at the core of my being, right?
It's at the core of his being. They always have this, no matter what, if you are Mooish in any capacity, it's at the core of his being.
Yeah.
What that does to the psychology of a tightly knit group of millions of people.
Yeah. It is. It's fun. This is the thing. It's even more an identity for me. Actually, wait, hang on. I better Oda did this super chat, basically says the same thing. A 2020 survey found that 76% of Moos in the US say that remembering the Holy is essential to their identity, but it's only 15% for following Mooish law for $5. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is what's annoying when you're talking about the Moos, and then James Lindsay goes, but he's not an Orthodox Moo. They can always pivot to not what you're talking about, rather than calling someone a Moo.
What you have to understand, Artie, is their grievances are real, right? Your grievances are not.
I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah, well, it's tough shit. Have you considered getting genocided? Right? Once you have been through a genocide, then maybe you'll have a grievance worth taking seriously.
That laugh was a cry.
It's sick. Honestly.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's cheer ourselves up right now. Okay? Go on with your segment. Let's get in a chipper mood after that.
Okay. We got a couple more. Is the night for $5? Thank you very much. Behind on the stream. Oh no, wait, hang on. We did that one. Sorry.
You're good. That's fine.
Here we go. It's Theodore. Is right.
Oh, you can
pronounce Udios, but you can't pronounce my name correctly.
That's
listen,
hilarious.
mate. Right? I don't pronounce your name every week when I go to liturgy. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, mate, right?
Theodore McCarthy, I believe.
Okay, right. So I just want to play this really quickly, and then we're going to move on.
Bud.
The war. God, we're running late. I only got half an hour. We're all right. Okay.
Hey, you're an adult. Okay, you can set your own bedtime.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
How do you combat anti-Semitism when we have 500 groups to combat anti-Semitism?
500
groups.
Right. And that's probably only counting the ones that were specifically formed to fight anti-Semitism.
U.S. Special Envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism.
Yeah,
terrific.
Terrific.
We're spending the most money in history to combat anti-Semitism, and yet anti-Semitism is at the highest levels ever since 1933. Because we can,
and it's nothing to do with us, right? Like
this is a comedy skit right now of like we still this isn't fixing the problem.
Yeah, it's like, has it occurred to you, right, that like having so many organizations is causing the problem? Like, just like
the homeless guys, like, yeah, people keep telling me I smell like shit. You try taking a shower? No, that's anti-homelessism.
Have 500 different messages to combat anti-Semitism.
Do they though? Really?
Oh yeah, it's such a diversity
We have to have one cohesive message. We have an administration that is willing to work with everybody to fight the scourge of anti-Semitism. But the way we do it is one message and with education. We start by educating our children to have a pride in Jewish history and have the ability.
Wait, you mean
this is going to create more anti-Semitism right now? It's pride. You know, is that not one of the sins to them?
Wait, so does he mean, I presume he means educating the Gentile children, right? To be proud of Jewish history.
I don't know. It's incoherent. It makes it makes me want to not Semitize him right now.
To answer all those idiots on college campuses who think they know Jewish history. Whether it be Brandeis, Cardozo, Einstein, Salk, pick the industry, we have made an impact in every country we've ever been in.
This is we with
historically.
Kings. We're talking about the bad ones. Okay, we're talking about all of the dozens and dozens of Moorish authors that wrote explicitly anti-white books. I'm talking about Noel Ignatieff that wrote Abolish the White Race, which is published in Harvard Magazine in 2002, okay? We're talking about this is the 93% argument. Yeah, but what about all the other ones that are good? We're talking about the ones that we have an issue with. That's what a grievance is. I'm sorry.
And any country that hasn't been kind to the Jews hasn't had a very positive ending. How do you?
Oh, I see.
Those are fucking fighting words where I'm from.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Spanish Golden Age. I mean, right? Like, you know, after the Spanish expulsion, right? Spain just collapsed, right? Oh no, it didn't. Like, what they mean is that they will come back and fuck you over. That's what they mean, right? It's not like they'll just like leave you be, right? They'll come back and they'll fuck you over.
Yeah, where's this surge of anti-Semitism coming from where even when their backs are against a wall, they're like, I'm warning you, you need us. Your back's against a wall. You can't say sorry. Like, what? You have a knife to your throat right now. You can't take a step back at all.
Right. So we're on to my my package about the war. This is like relatively short. Just gonna like talk about the knock-on effects that will affect you, the listener, the people in chat. But first, Lindsey Graham has a message for all of you.
We do in World War II. Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city to smithereens? So this is a war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people.
Mm.
What happened on October the 7th was 1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every Jew if they could to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's survival.
Even the journalist isn't buying it, mate. This is like Sky News. I'm just like, really? Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we? So my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way. Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism. We flattened Germany. We flattened Japan.
How many Americans
Wait a
believe
minute.
this?
Out of that,
The way that how many Americans think the way that you do?
I think most Republicans think the way I do.
Even young ones.
You're just out of touch if you don't understand Republicans.
Okay. Anyway, right. This is the current shipping map of the region, right? I just want to like talk about a few of the knock-on effects, basically, of like what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz at the moment. As you can see, wait, is that a no? As you can see, right, there's basically no traffic going through the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep.
You've got like all of these like ships that are like docked here, like waiting. You can see there's like a bunch up here as well. Here's Iran on the right, Saudi Arabia. Now, this is important because over the last few days, Iran has been hitting oil tankers and bulk carriers, mainly in the north of the Gulf, right? Like up here near Kuwait and Iraq. And I think this is a deliberate tactic to try and get as much marine traffic clustered in the middle and around the Straits of Hormuz, so that if the Americans try and bring in any kind of naval power or any kind of like air power, there will be tons and tons of civilian vessels in the area. Then they can like sink these vessels, right? Block the Straits of Hormuz and generally make it a much, much tougher operating environment for the Americans. This is like basically like what's been going on, right? There's been a bunch of these like tankers being like hit by drones and stuff like that. Again, the point is not to like show you the war footage. The point is to talk about some of the knock-on effects. This is what's going on in India at the moment because they have no strategic gas reserve. Basically, most of the countries in South Asia have no strategic reserves. Like this has been like happening again and again. And I just want to point out, right, that at the moment, half of the world's LNG tankers are trapped inside the Persian Gulf. Okay, so they might turn on the gas, right, like somewhere else, but half of all the ships that could transport that gas are trapped in the Persian Gulf. Okay, so even if they get gas supply online, they can't like ship it. This is going to be like apocalyptic. Don't worry, bros. Trump is on the scene, right?
Oh. Buy oil futures as a means to keep the oil prices down or bring the oil
We're going to
prices
be in
down.
very good shape. You see what's happening. They are pretty much at the end of the line. Doesn't mean we're going to end it immediately, but they've got no Navy, they've got no Air Force, they've got no anti-air traffic, anything. They have no systems of control. We're just riding free range over that country. And now we're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape.
Does Trump sound like he's now doing a Trump impression instead of sounding like himself? It's like so ridiculous at this point.
He's getting a bit tired, bros. And you will notice, by the way, he did not answer the reporter's question, right? The reporter's question was about whether the US government is intervening in the oil futures markets to manipulate the price. The answer to that, by the way, seems to be yes, they are. This is very, very, very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And this would explain like the wild swings in oil prices that we're seeing recently. And it would also explain why what they call like the paper cost of oil is like massively diverging from the actual cost on the ground. We saw the same thing with like the silver market, right? Like paper silver was like at a certain price. And like if you wanted actual silver delivered, it was like $10 or $20 more, right? This is what happens when you start manipulating markets, right? They detach from what's called the physical asset that this thing is supposed to track, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like just insane bullshit, right? At the moment, Pete Hegseth is holding the fucking prize. It turns out, right, that the fucking Strait of Hormuz exists in like a superposition of both being open and closed at the same time, depending on who it is that you fucking ask.
So I'll take it and chime in, Mr. Chairman, if you'd like it all. I want to emphasize what the chairman said about that. The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. Now, there's a reason why we chose, as one of our primary objectives, destroy the Navy. We understood the ability to interdict shipping is something Iran has done for years. It's key terrain. They've used it as leverage. The world is seeing what they'll do to fight back in that context. And so We've heard them talk about taking various measures, and we're planning for all of them. So we have a plan for every option here. We're working with our interagency partners, and that's not a strait we're going to allow to remain contested or with a lack of flow of commercial goods. So we're aware of that. We're laser focused on our military objectives, but also want to make sure our partners across this government understand we're working with you to make sure that energy flows, and that's an important part.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine, bro. It's gonna be like fine, totally fine, right? A lot of people are still like wondering why this war actually started. Fortunately, we now have a very, very clear answer.
What information did you have that Iran was about to carry out an imminent attack?
One good indication was that for 47 years they've been saying death to America, death to Israel. Believe it.
Yeah, but that's 47 years. But why that day?
And they were ramping up their capabilities with the ballistic missiles. They're stringing along the negotiations. They always lie. Listen to your negotiators. They'll tell you the truth. They're stringing them along. They always lie, and it was an imminent threat. And we removed that imminent threat.
I still don't understand what the imminent threat was, that they were going to attack Israel, attack American bases, attack the U.S. An imminent threat of what?
All of the above. All of the above. They were threatening their neighbors. Look at what they're doing now. they're shooting at all their immediate neighbors. All the mask is revealed. These guys, it's a death cult that not only called and killed Americans for 47 years and Israelis for 47 years, now they're killing their neighbors.
Of course, they're firing now because they're under attack. There's a hot war going on. I'm trying to understand what started this war.
They slaughtered thousands, tens of thousands of Iranians. They slaughtered them on the streets. 30,000 innocent people were slaughtered on the streets in a matter of days. It's a death cult. It's a death cult.
The way he says that, like, he slaughtered like tens of thousands of people on the streets.
What?
Like,
what? You don't like his answer?
There's someone else who used to do that. It was like when remember when Biden was in, right? Mm-hmm. And he'd try and make like a serious point, and he'd like lower his voice like that, and just oh god.
And we're removing that threat.
President Trump said that Iran was weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon and potentially using one. Is that Prime Minister Netanyahu's assessment as well?
Well, we know that they wanted it. We know that they were planning it. We know that was the imminent threat. You see today what they're doing with the oil. They're blackmailing the world with the oil. They would blackmail the world with the nukes. President Trump is saving the free world right now.
But were they just weeks away from having a nuclear weapon?
Well, that was their intention. I don't know if it was weeks or months or whatever it was, but it was an imminent threat, and certainly the ballistic missiles.
Like, let's not talk about whether it was days or weeks or months or years or decades. The important point, right, is that we thought they wanted one.
That they were trying to bury underground would have been immune. And then what? We'd leave this threat for our kids, for our grandkids. Now we got to do it now. The price of action is often high. The price of inaction is often much higher.
The price of inaction. Well, the price of action. Well, guess who's going to pay for the price of action? We are. All of you.
What?
Are, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. So, Iran's new supreme leader, who is, he's conscious. He's been like voted in, but there's like rumors circulating that he's been like disfigured by like an Israeli like missile, and maybe like lost his leg, and like had his like face like messed up. I'm sure he's going to be like a really like reasonable dude. Had his entire like family killed. I'm sure he's going to be like far more reasonable than Khomeini the first, right? So apparently the US has been putting out feelers through like, third parties like the Italians and stuff, saying like, oh, we want a ceasefire. But everybody knows this tactic by now, right? Like they do a ceasefire, they rearm, and they come back, right? It's like, a melanated individual turns up at your door, right? And you beat them off, and they're like, stop, right? And they, shuffle away.
Beat them off. I would never.
2 weeks later, they're back, right, with friends. So the key statements: all US bases should be immediately closed in the region. Those bases will be attacked. We will obtain compensation from the enemy. If they refuse, we will take their assets to the extent that we deem appropriate. And if that is not possible, we will destroy an equivalent amount of their property. We have foiled attempts to divide the country. The Strait of Hormuz must remain closed. Countries in the region must clarify their position regarding those who have aggressed against Iran. Discussions are ongoing regarding the opening of other fronts in areas where the enemy has little experience and is highly vulnerable. These other new fronts may be activated if the state of war continues and if it is deemed appropriate. Gee, bros, I wonder what the fuck he could be talking about? Oh yeah, does anyone remember Yemen? Right, that was like literally a thing until like literally fucking 5 minutes ago. Okay. Well, it turns out that Yemen is also astride a choke point, right, called the Al Mandab Strait. Okay, that leads up to the Suez Canal through the Red Sea that empties out into the Mediterranean. The Suez Canal is very tight, right? Tighter than your ex-girlfriend, mate, right?
Hey.
And like your ex-girlfriend, right? She's only got like one path of ingress.
Wow. Didn't know you've been having lunch with my ex-girlfriend. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's got some bad things to say about you, mate, right? Like, I tried not to engage.
So does my mother. Like, God bless her
So,
legs.
so look, okay, so this is the Suez Canal, right? Leads to the Great Bitter Lake, right? Also the name for your ex-girlfriend.
Come on! I didn't say anything to you at all.
And as you can see, like it splits into here, right? But there are entire sections where there's just like one path, right? And it's basically empty at the moment, which is like weird, right? Like you would think that there would be like a ton of ships transiting Suez at the moment, okay? But no, okay? Now, my suspicion is what the Iranians mean, right, is that the Yemenis will kick off and they will close the Al-Mandab Strait. Now, if that happens, everything is going to be completely fucked. And if they manage to like somehow attack the Suez Canal, right, like, I don't know, like stick a ship in there or something, everything will be screwed, right? If you want to like get, I mean, none of the gas in sort of the Middle East is going to be able to like get out. Trade is going to be like fucked. The only way to do it will be to go all the way around Africa to get to Asia. It is going to be goddamn insane. But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen, right? I mean, I know you're like loving this, right? It turns out, right, that you need natural gas to make fertilizer, right?
Yeah.
Most fertilizer comes from urea, which is made in a reaction. You take natural gas, you make ammonia out of it, you then convert that to
That
urea.
sounds like pee-pee.
Yeah, it is. It is pee-pee, right?
Did
Now,
I
I
do
mean,
good?
this is the thing, right? Like India could tap their reserve pee-pee supply, of which they have a lot, but
How
apparently
do you
they're
run out of pee-pee, dude? Come on.
they're
Some mismanagement going on over here.
they're having difficulty, right? Because to do that, you'd have to get the Indians to like pee in like, some kind of receptacle. And obviously like they're very, very against that. Right? So
They're
you
called
see that-
English
you see the
toilets
problem.
for a reason.
Yeah, right. A bunch of factories have shut down. Okay. This is bad, right? This could
We're not going to have anyone to answer the phones for customer service right now. It sounds like.
No. They're all going to go to the West, right? You know this, right? Like they're all going to like rush to the goddamn West, right? Like, you think immigration's bad now, right? Like wait until this shit kicks off. Okay.
Well, yeah, they're seeking asylum from their economic conditions.
Oh, God. The Haber-Bosch process turns natural gas into ammonia, ammonia into urea, and urea into food. It alone is responsible for feeding 4 billion people. Half the nitrogen atoms in your body were placed there by this reaction. Qatar's largest urea plant has already shut down. Prices are up 35% in 1 week. The spring planting window in the Northern Hemisphere is right now. Nitrogen has to be applied at specific points in the growing cycle. Miss it, and the yield loss is permanent for that season. This same 21
we've
mile.
been assured by Hegseth this has nothing to do with the war, right?
Yep. Oh, it's nothing to do with the war, right?
It's
At all.
correlation is equal causation. It's a coincidence that it's happening at the same time.
People have started talking about the giga famine, right? Like this is plants are like closing all across Europe as well. Europe is fucked, right? Absolutely like fucked. Not only that, it turns out that one of the side sort of like production lines from LNG processing is helium, right? Is very, very highly refined helium, which you need to make computer chips, right? It's the atmosphere inside the chip fabs. You need this very, very specific kind of like highly refined helium, right? Well, no, you don't, right? Like tough shit, basically. Qatar accounts for 1/3 of global helium production. This is going to like have massive knock-on effect. You think computers are expensive now? Oh my God, you just wait, right? Which reminds me, just someone last week asked me if I've, got like, any advice, and I don't want to give financial advice, but I do have like a couple of thoughts, right?
Yeah, he is not your financial advisor, okay? I am. So I take full responsibility for every single thing that Fist says, any recommendation he makes for you. I'm legally responsible for that, okay?
If you have old computer equipment, hang on to it, right? If you don't know how to install and run Linux, now would be a really, really good time to learn, right? A whole bunch of boomers are about to discover that they can't afford new computers. Windows is becoming more and more enshittified by the day. Once like the price of AI goes up, all of those Jeet vibe coders that are working on like Windows are going to like lose their ability. Windows is probably going to become fucking unusable, right? So all of those like old computers, you're probably going to have all of these like boomers, right, needing like computer repair. If you can install like Linux on like old hardware and install some kind of Linux distro that vaguely looks like Windows and get their like shit working, you can probably make like a pretty nice living off that. That would be my recommendation, right? Look into and hold old computer equipment. That stuff is about to like seriously rise in value, in my opinion, if this goes the way I think it's going to go.
This sounds very similar to the price of used cars were actually more than new cars during COVID.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Because the production is being made impossible, so then the existing asset increases in value, is what you're saying?
Well, yes, but also the enshittification factor, right? like no, I'm serious. Like,
I know I'm trying to sound all just being all high and mighty over here. And you're like, actually, it's the enshittification factor.
Yeah, but it is, right? Like they're just loading all of this crap that nobody wants onto like modern technology. Windows 11 is like a classic example of this, right? It's just got all of this crap.
Modern cell phones. Needs. No one's asking for a new phone every year that comes out where just the camera is better and it's a bunch of features no one's fucking asking for. They take away features. They take away a headphone jack. They take away a bunch of shit that no one asked about. Yeah, no one's asking for this level of overconsumption.
Exactly. Like what is the functional difference between like a mobile phone from like a couple of years ago?
Nothing.
Right? Even 5 years ago. Like he said, oh, you don't have a headphone jack anymore. Oh, great. Thank you very much. You don't have an SD card slot anymore. Oh, well, thanks. The two things like I actually really, really wanted, right? You don't have anymore, right? Oh, it's okay. You've got the cloud. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
And as if that were not bad enough, right? It is entirely possible that we are about to see 2008 redux, except much, much worse, right? A bunch of like private equity funds that in total, like looking at, I don't even know how many trillions of dollars these funds like control. These are people like BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Cliffwater. Basically, they've started like gating withdrawals. Okay, right? So a bunch of people want to pull their money out. They get like nervous and they're like, no, you can't pull your money out. What do these private equity firms do? Well, basically they take money and they sort of like lend it out to people. They're sort of like banks, except they're like much, much more risky because they've got to like get a return. So just like the subprime thing that like kicked off where like, they had all these like low rated loans and it all worked fine as long as nothing disrupted the financial markets. That's all about to like fucking just go tits up. He's going to go tits up.
They can just get bailed out, right? You just do infinite bailouts.
If they bail out the entire private equity sector, the inflation is going to be insane.
Yeah,
right?
but I want $1 billion bill like Zimbabwe.
It's a $2 trillion financial market, right?
Like even better. I want a quadrillion dollar bill like the United States.
We're already seeing like halts in redemptions. Redemptions is like just a fancy word for like when you want to get your fucking money out, basically, right? And I am starting to think that this whole thing is basically 9/11, right? Like, you know how like 9/11 was like set up, like how, when they wanted to scramble fighters to like intercept the jets, and it turns out that like 6 months earlier, Dick Cheney had like changed it so that you had to contact him personally if you wanted to launch any fighter jets, and he just like wasn't around. Look at this, right? The last 4 US Navy minesweepers, right? Their job used to be to like literally just hang out in the Persian Gulf. They all got scrapped. right? About a year ago. And now they're all on the way to the Persian Gulf to get scrapped.
That's
right.
odd.
Yeah. Don't worry, bros. Don't worry, bros. Like Trump is on it. Oh no, wait, hang on. We did this one. This is the Kentucky thing. Hang on, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I just thought I'd so like and there's another thing I wanted to say. This is very, very important.
Yeah.
One of the byproducts of the refining of sour crude is sulfur, right? Sulfur is one of the contaminants that you get in heavy crude. That sulfur is drawn off, refined, and sold, used to make sulfuric acid, which goes to a bunch of pharmaceutical inputs, right? Without that sulfuric acid, a lot of pharmaceutical processes, production lines are going to shut down. If you need critical medicine, you or your loved ones, right? Now is the time to like stock up, okay? Don't go insane. I'm not encouraging people to like run around with their hair on fire, but make sure you've got like, I don't know, like a 6-month stock of like any critical medicines. Now is the time to do it because prices are going to go up. You may have availability problems. Just saying, right? I love you all. I hope like I'm totally wrong and like this all fixes itself and Trump rides
You're being
down.
a mama bear right now. You
I
wanna
am.
Make sure everyone has their things, has their jacket on when they leave, just in case they get cold.
Well, yeah, like, you know, I do, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, look, maybe Trump will ride down on his fucking like base red, white, and blue unicorn and, you know, shit Bitcoin everywhere and like everything will, you know, it will be saved. But like, I'm not seeing it, bros, right? Like I just, you know, right. So I'm just giving people advice to the shit that I'm doing. Okay. Like basically, right? Like you know, so just to finish off.
Finish me off, Fist.
We are seeing a new thing that has never been seen before in warfare, right? AI slop propaganda. And this stuff is fucking wild, right? This is posted from the Iran embassy in The Hague. So this is directly from the Iranian government. Check this shit out, mate. This is like the future is fucking weird.
We have no issue with civilians.
Why did you attack the Manaf school?
Go on, lie, 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 lie. We didn't hit the Manaf school. America doesn't have Tomahawk missiles at all. We care deeply about the Iranian people.
So that is fascinating.
I know, right? Like, because you know the film like
Propaganda,
Inside,
yeah.
You know the film Inside Out, where like the girl and she's got like personified like emotions like battling in her head kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pixar propaganda. There's this as well, right?
The propaganda now, it used to be pictures, okay?
Oh,
in,
yeah.
like the Soviet in you know 40s and like this to a population of a bunch of poor people must be fucking like it's never existed before. It's a historical precedent.
I mean, it's just wild, right? Like, I mean, I'm stashing all these away in a folder because I've been a student of like, you know, propaganda for like ages. I just, you know, kind of it's really like fascinating the way.
Yeah,
like,
but also if shit hits the fan, you want to be able to sell memes, right?
Well, that too. Just
in case.
money for some memes.
Yes.
we'll
currency.
We'll podcast for food.
And then the right wing is truly going to rise to the top because we're the only ones that can meme.
Yeah, that's right.
We hold the currency.
How many is dead?
Okay, I think I get what you're doing right now. All right.
No, I mean
I think I get what you're doing right now. You're showing their propaganda, so then you're gonna show our propaganda and how it blows it out of the water, right?
Oh, mate, like you're absolutely.
I mean,
right.
we're America over here, okay? You
Yeah,
can learn.
right.
What the fuck is this?
Well, this is from the White House. This is the American
what
sloppaganda. Oh, mate, this is amazing. Check this out.
Wow.
Holy what? 10. It's out of the park. 10.
Pause this real quick. Isn't Patrick Bet David Iranian? I wonder how he feels about this right now. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to fucking look up and see if he's has what response he has to what's going on.
This is so insane, right? I just like this is not like this is not good propaganda, right? Like there's no emotional tone, right? Like if you
It's just
contrast
us
this,
going. It's easy to kill them.
yeah, exactly, right? Like there's no sense of purpose, right? There's no grand like message, sense of destiny, right? Like if I was like the head of the US, like the White House propaganda office, and someone brought this to me, I would slap them upside the head and be like, "What the fuck? Where's the Eagles?
It was
right?
made. Yeah, it was
Where's
made
the
very
American
quickly.
flag? Where's the hot girls in bikinis? Right? Where's the fucking barbecue? Where's the guns? Right? Where's the freedom? This isn't America. Like what the fuck is this?
But I mean, this is a sophomore year like graphic design project.
Mate, they're not bringing that back. It makes me wonder like what the fuck's going on at the White House, right? Like have they actually instituted like a purge and got rid of all the gropers, and as a result they had to get rid of all the talented people? It wouldn't surprise me.
Right. But like
Right?
don't put anything out. Just put nothing out. You can do nothing. You can just put nothing out, right? Or wait until you have it done. Was there some sort of deadline for all countries to make their propaganda and they all had to pass it in?
Yeah, like the propaganda minister was like out partying late at night with like Epstein, and like he had to like whip something up in like 10 minutes. So I thought we'd like finish off with like a bit of slop. This is
A
like
fella just sent me a tight 1 minute from Jonathan Greenblatt on CNN that I haven't watched yet that I'm gonna play at the end.
oh, I think I saw that like floating around, right? Okay, so look, some people might have like seen this, but this is just like the weirdest like thing. Unfortunately, it's in Arabic. You got to read it, but like this is the funniest goddamn shit I've ever seen. Actually,
Really, you just gonna give us more AI slop right now, huh?
No, this isn't AI. This is real. This is.
I love saying that to you.
This is a real thing that actually happened. This is from Memory TV.
قلنا لكم بالبدايه راح اطلع لكم الفتوى اللي موجوده في موقع منتديات اصول السنه. سأل الوهابي شيخنا رزقكم
So
الله
read it. I
الشهاده
mean,
والحور العين في
really,
الجنة.
you should probably read it so people know
Okay.
what's being said if they're
Right.
listening.
Okay, so he's basically he's this guy. He's an imam. He's received like a message from a fighter. Okay, he's going in like some operation. Okay, he wants to commit himself to a martyrdom operation. Right, he wants to be a suicide
عنكم أن
bomber.
أقوم بعملية استشهادية وتقدمت.
Okay, he turned to his like sheikh, who told me they had invented a new and unprecedented form of martyrdom operation. Explosive capsules are inserted into your anus. In order to train for this method of jihad, right, you must consent to being sodomized for a period of time so that your anus becomes wider so it can accept the explosive capsules.
Wow, that's almost unbelievable that was said.
My question is whether I am permitted, right, to allow one of the mujahideen access to my anus if my intentions are honorable. This could be a troll, by the way, right? But the way like this is taken like seriously is fucking hilarious, right? And the purpose is to train my jihad for jihad by widening my anus.
You got questions. He's got answers. He's the imam. Imam's legs over here. You got to talk to imam's legs.
The Sheikh praised Allah and said, in principle, sodomy is forbidden, right? But I feel like there's a but coming. However, jihad is more important. It is the pinnacle of Islam. If sodomy is the only way to reach this pinnacle of Islam, then there is no harm in it. The rule is that necessity makes the forbidden permissible. Something that is required in order to perform a duty becomes a duty in of itself. No duty takes precedence over jihad. Therefore, you must be sodomized. However, after that, you have to like ask for forgiveness. Know that Allah resurrects the mujahideen on Judgment Day on the basis of their intentions.
What is this? Is he like a sultan? Who is this guy?
No, it'd be like an imam. Fucking wait, 007 knows about all this fucking like shit. He's like my fucking go-to guy on like the fucking weird shit in Islam. I wonder if he's noped out. Oh my god. Anyway, I just thought that was like hilarious. And there's this as well.
Black Jews, we the original Jews. Oh God, first it was the original Muslim. Now think about this. How stupid black. Think about what white folk look at y'all while they follow Donald Trump. How stupid these black people are. First they say they're Muslim. That don't work. Then they say they're Jews. That don't work. Now they're saying Jesus is black. Damn. I mean, has anybody ever taken the time to look at how stupid black people are? Now Black Lives Matter. For what?
Right. Okay. So that's the end of my stack. Let's do
Very
some
cool.
super chats.
Absolutely.
Okay. TNR FNV for $10.
Oh, yeah, bruv.
Just trying to throw some more money at anti-citrucism. Oh, well, thank you very much. Appreciate that, mate.
Thank you very much.
Boot for Justice became a YouTube member. Very, very nice.
Oh, and he's not done.
Aramaic Discourse, 5 months membership. Thank you very much. How dare Iran kill 10k people in the name of Baal instead of Mammon? Oy vey. True. Very, very inconsiderate, right? Like, new GM for $10. Thank you very much. Why does this guy sound titillated while describing mass Minecrafting? Oh yeah, demonic possession. Duh.
So, you're paying attention?
Hello. And Butte for Justice for 20 memberships. Holy
not
crap,
done.
man.
The man isn't done.
Really?
Something. Oh no, not he is. Okay.
Thank you very
the
much.
First one. Now we have a tie. We have a tie for a Chad. Wow. There's so much fortune right now happening in the channel that something bad has to happen.
Nuremberg trials will come.
So we don't know what's going to happen. Something bad simply must happen.
Because goddamn Nazis.
And I think that's possibly who's behind it. All right. Now they've tried. Look at Jonathan Greenblatt right now. Look at how much he's tried, but you've left him no option.
We tried the love us thing for about 3,000 years. Didn't work.
Please continue.
CSI for $2. Hashtag Fist was right.
Now, Fist has a massive ego, so make sure you continually tell him that he's right to feed his ego. It's way bigger than James Lindsay's ego. His tits are smaller. Ego's way bigger than James Lindsay, so that keeps him going, all right? To constantly tell him that he's always right, he's never wrong. You know, he would never post something that's obviously AI and think it's real. He's always right. Fist is right, okay?
I just want to protect the fellas, mate. Like, I just want to like retire somewhere like nice in the woods, like, you know, around like white people. Like, is that so much to ask? Like,
apparently,
I don't really like, you know, I don't want to rule the world. I don't really want power or like any of that. I just want to like be around my people. Oh my god, like why?
Yeah, sounds kind of selfish. What? So you don't want any black gay people around you? Is what you're saying?
No, I don't actually.
You have to be re-educated.
Deep Wang for $5. Thank you very much. Hello, Americans. China are number one. Gee, eternal love shine on us all. Missed the beginning of the stream. Can you summarize the entire thing? Oh yeah, absolutely. There you go. You're all caught up, mate.
Zang. That means
Andrew,
excellent in Cantonese, according to Wayne's World.
Yeah, well, one of the amazing things about Cantonese as a language is you can summarize like an entire 3-hour stream in like just a sentence. It's really, really efficient.
Yeah.
Andrew,
they have 250,000 characters. You'd hope so.
Dillweed for $10. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm caught with my pants around my ankles. Hold on. There we go. Wow.
Trying to find the good out of a bad situation going for Weimar might make people see the truth in all of this. Yeah, exactly. It does make me wonder, like, if it does go that way.
We tried to warn you.
Who's America going to be in that situation? What, like India is going to like what invade America? Like to, I mean, like you know.
Hey, the Moos need us. We're trying to warn them. Okay, they can turn back at any point.
A rat named Mouse, 1 month membership. I just grew my hair out all nice and long. Well, let me get my life.
Might as well.
You can always like smoke it.
Listen, you're gonna want to hang on to your hair. Okay, where there's about to be a hair shortage. You're gonna want to hang on to that.
That's right. Your mom's legs for 10 memberships.
Oh, a little bit of friendly competition over here.
It's a battle between your mom's legs and Colonel Buford. Wait, is that what was the name of the other guy? Is it Colonel Buford?
I mean,
Buford Justice. Buford Justice.
Now at this point, okay, he's already been the Chad. Then I said there was a tie for the Chad, and there's only one demographic of people that are capable of such a tactic.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
I don't know this guy. He keeps following me around. I don't know. Talking about
we do.
Mother's legs.
We do seem to be like quite popular with people who are on the payroll of the Moose, right? Dugan probably sent them, right? He did contact me by a special Orthodox mystic telephone, right? The Raz Dugan phone, right?
Well, if Fuentes is a Fed and he's saying the truth about the Moose, I mean, we're in the same category then, right?
I guess. Yeah, I mean, he's making more money, right? Though, I mean, is that really fair?
Is he really making? But is it just a bunch of bots? You know, is he really making all that? I don't know.
I mean, I've got this theory actually, right? That the Moose are trying to like drive Fuentes insane by like sending him like really retarded super chats, right? Right? Like they're like, they're like, oh yeah, how can we get to him? I know. We get a bunch of people to send in the most retarded super chats like possible.
Dude, Fuentes fucking hates his audience. It's incredible. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, we have an unbelievably like nice and silly audience. I don't know how it happened. It's the ortho vibes run throughout the chat. It's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, exactly. No, we do. We have the best fellas. So are we leading out with
Let's see what this is.
Just give Mr. Greenblatt.
Just give me 1 minute of your time right now. For 1 minute of your time, Jonathan Greenblatt can look like he's about to fucking cry and come at the same time. Here we go.
We are seeing Jewish people, the Jewish state, blamed for the war in the Middle East.
Now, he says the people in the state as if they're one thing. Is that odd to you at all?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. Like, what about like all the moves that don't support Zionism? There's like a whole bunch of them. I guess they don't count.
I thought that James Lindsay has been saying they'll say Zionists, but they really mean the Moose. Didn't he just combine those two together right now? Israel and am I going crazy? Is that what he said?
Blamed for the war in the Middle East. That is wrong. It is wrong to scapegoat. It is wrong to hold Jewish people accountable for something you don't like on the
we haven't been scapegoated for supremacy, just trying to collectivize it all, right?
I mean, I think basically he was, Greenblatt was right in the first part of that sentence, right? It's wrong to hold Moorish people accountable. Period. Right? Nothing more needs to be said.
Planet. And we really need leaders on all sides in politics, running for office, podcasters, to stop with the conspiracies.
Literally everyone in every position of power across the world, as many as they can get, is what he's saying. Literally everybody.
It's just a conspiracy now, right? Okay, it's conspiracy theory now. Okay, that's all they've like. How do they expect this messaging to work after like COVID and after Epstein?
And,
right,
and
like
he is saying this a part of a group born out of B'nai B'rith, which was from German Mu immigrants in New York City in 1842. Is how long they've been doing this for.
Yeah.
We're not making it up right now. Okay, I'm just trying to remind you of how long this tactic has been used for, and I don't know how this gets resolved, honestly, because they seem really steadfast. Hey, we're warning them. All right, we're trying to warn you. Hey, I told you. I tried to warn you. I tried to let you know this was coming. All right.
Yeah.
Put
another chocolate coin in the Artie was right jar.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hashtag Artie is always right.
Never. I'm too messy to be the one that's always right. Okay. That's never. There's no way you can Uno reverse that onto me. Okay.
You're
the guy that accurately recants history and talks about things in a factual manner. Okay. I can do that. We'll see. We'll let them decide.
We'll see. I guess.
To stop with the accusations and then tell us, but we oppose anti-Semitism. You don't get to say you're opposed to hate if you're trafficking in hateful conspiracy theories. Everyone needs to dial down the rhetoric, to take a step back, and to start doing something to stop this epidemic before it gets even worse.
And it's continuing all over the country right now, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, at ADL, we focus on protecting the Jewish community. We have never been busier. Like we are seeing.
Absolutely. And we've never been busier. Oh, it's almost like it's an industry. I guess you got to get more money. I guess you got to get more money, right?
Yeah.
I got two things, and they're very
well. You didn't address the grievance, did you? Right? We're going to ignore the grievance. We're going to ignore the grievance. We're going to ignore the grievance. Oh my God! Right? Like suddenly the grievance is like everywhere. Yeah, because you ignored it. Right? You gaslit people and gaslit people and gaslit people, and you didn't change anything.
So we have a submission right now. Very kind.
Ew.
Hey, it's true.
The death butterfly.
Dude, all I'm doing is repeating what the man says, okay? I'm not doing anything crazy right now. We got anything else in the super chats? I get to eat in 45 minutes. Who's excited? Me. I'm excited.
You're excited.
Oh, I actually lost an hour because of daylight savings time. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's
and now we are in the most retarded time of the year for me. Okay, because America is now on daylight saving, but Europe doesn't like do it until like a month later because fuck you, right? So
word. Oh, that's why you were confused.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay.
Every fucking year, it gets me. That's fine. Isaac for $2. Show the memes. Save the West.
Got him.
Did
it.
And Theodore for $2. The historical pattern is a removal from the country. Well, that's correct. Like that is the historic.
Oh my.
Pattern.
Yeah. Actually, checkmate.
Yeah.
Where do you move from there?
Well, India, it seems, but I don't think that they could have the kind of love affair with India that they have had with like Europe and America. I just don't. They in my opinion, right? They really need sort of an honest, earnest kind of like sort of gullible, like well-meaning people, right? With like a strong individualistic streak, right? For this to work, I don't think the Indians are it, mate. Like I mean, I might be wrong. There is a lot of them, right? Like, but I feel like the Indians are as unctuous and sort of very, very unctuous and sort of scammy and very just kind of dark people. Like, no, I'm serious,
That was
right?
a
Like,
lot of words when dark definitely would have sufficed.
no, I don't mean in skin tone. I just
I
mean
know,
like in
but I
in their history and like their religion, and there's a lot of really dark shit in Hinduism, right? Like, like in the 60s they came, all the Western things like, oh man, Hinduism, it's like, this is the same with Buddhism, right? That was a very, very one-sided picture of both Buddhism and
We've been
Hinduism.
groomed to not be suspicious of anyone else's religion.
Yeah. Well, but also as well, right? We've been groomed to be like basically once they subverted and turned Christianity into a mockery, they then like deliberately misrepresented these other religions and are like, oh, the wisdom of the East, right? They know so much more than we do. And they fucking don't. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Like, anyway, let me see what else we got. Oh, we got a couple more.
Right.
Origin Party for 2 Canadian loonies. Save the West, save the world. Ardent plays on Rumble. Yes, go check out Ardent plays on Rumble. He's a good lad. Thank you very much, Ardent. And Lenny Gray for $2. They already have the Moo thing down for India. Yeah, I know they've been like sort of like sizing that up for a while. I think
do a lot of cleaning.
Mate. Check out the latest episode of my podcast with Aaron from Clowntown Chronicle on the conspiracy pyramid. It's fun. It's just like a fun slop kind of like thing. I had a lot of fun.
You don't have to call it slop. People can like things.
No. I just mean like it is like, it's not like really heavy. It's not like, it's not gonna.
That's been the success of my channel, right?
Yeah, it's just like light and it's good, and like Aaron's a good lad.
It lets your brain dance a little bit,
Yeah. And Fistery will be on Monday. We'll be doing what I think is like the final part of the history of the moos in England.
Yeah,
and then
right.
me and Artie,
final part of the moos, please.
Yeah, and then we've got to do something on the whole Jesus was a moo thing as well. But there'll probably be like a few other things dropping in the next couple of days that maybe we can like, people smarter than us like talking about it, so we can comment on that.
Well, I mean, really, on one hand, I think there's like a short conversation to have about it, and then a longer conversation. So we can start with the shorter conversation and expand out. Especially, I think that all started with Joel Webbins, so we can cover that in a chronology, so people are up to speed with it. But I think we can, I don't know about you, but Was Jesus a Moo, I think, really fits the theme of my channel and my live streams. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure we can do something with that.
Oh, dude, of course we can. Of course we can.
That's going to be, what do you do when someone says that, right? And so that's what we want to do, is to give you a rhetorical strategy of what to say, when of course you're always in these conversations every day in your real life, right?
Yeah. No, but also like it's a like, as a Christian, right? Like it's a demoralization tactic, right? It's like either you support Israel, either you support Christian Zionism, either you support like rabbinical Moodyism, right? Like, oh, you're not a real Christian. Fuck off, right? Like honestly, like, take it, fold it into like a little fucking paper airplane and shove it up your jacksie, right? Like, piss off. Like, I don't need fucking permission from anyone to love Jesus Christ. Okay. So yeah. Right. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you for everyone who super chatted. Thank you, fellas. We have the best fellas. We love you all. Final words, Artie.
I'm sending you to a random guy's channel. It's the an unreasonable man. I think I said you hear from Arden Party another time. And I'm probably gonna do a stream on Rudyard Lynch and his woke right rhetoric. There's so much to go into.
You're going to do a stream on Rudyard Lynch? Oh, really?
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm 6'4" and women really want to fuck me.
Oh, my God. I wrote a contract with like God, actually. Oh,
negotiated a contract. The word negotiate. See? That's how I know I can stream about it. All right, fellas. I have to go. I'm starving. I have to start making food. Have a good one, fellers.
Good night.
Everyone has families, right? I have a family. You got to do it legally, though, right? You understand that? What happens in El Salvador if you go there illegally?
Well, my business is legally. On Texas, I got a title, and it's legally.
Yeah, but it's not if you're not, though.